wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to our brand new stream. Hello, guys. कैसे हैं आप सब लोग? Hello, guys. So, guys, welcome to our brand new stream. Hello, guys. Hello. गाइस, स्वागत है आप सभी का हमारे चैनल का सबसे पहला और एक बहुत ही शानदार लाइव स्ट्रीम में। तो गाइस, कैसे हैं आप लोग? बताओ यार, कैसे हैं आप सभी लोग? बताओ गाइस। तो गाइस, आज का स्ट्रीम बहुत ही ज्यादा स्पेशल है। टाइटल और थंबनेल देख के तो आप लोग समझ ही गए होंगे कि आज का स्ट्रीम में क्या होने वाला है। तो गाइस, आज भाई बहुत ज्यादा वाला मजा आने वाला है। बहुत ज्यादा, मतलब बता नहीं सकता, इतना ज्यादा मजा आने वाला है आज के स्ट्रीम में। तो चलो चलते हैं और पहले एक बार देख लेते कि हुआ है कि नहीं स्टार्ट हमारा। चलो 1 मिनट गाइस, सभी लोग आ जाओ यार, सभी लोग आ जाओ। लेट्स गो। ओके, चलो। और आते हैं। अच्छा, यहाँ से देखो EWC। गाइस, आप लोग बताओ यार, आप लोग कैसे हो? आप लोग बताओ यार कि आप लोग कैसे हो? ओके, लेट्स गो गाइस। हमारा चालू हो चुका है और अभी हम लोग बढ़ेंगे हमारे एक्चुअल प्रोग्राम में। लेट्स गो। चलो सबसे पहले हम कर देते हैं चीज चालू। लेट्स गो। रुको यार रुको। चलो यहाँ से मैं कर देता हूँ इसको स्विच। और अभी फिलहाल ओके एकदम बढ़िया है। ट्रैवल विथ मी, ट्रैवल विथ मी स्ट्रीम में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है यार। ट्रैवल विथ मी। हे बेबी भाई यार मैं लड़का हूँ यार, तुम तो मुझे लड़की बना दिए। ओके लेट्स गो।
Themselves, they're very
Okay, तो
sound
हमने
in terms
कर
of
दिया
mechanically
start और अभी
able
हम लोग
squad
चलेंगे।
in the world of Free Fire. This battle
Let's
is going to be
go.
a rough one for
Okay.
them. Now they're trying to sneak outside the compound of the
Okay.
blue zone here. They
So
get
guys,
scanned out by the
अरे,
binoculars as well. Falcons does have a tad bit of information, but David 444 again. The most lethal player on the
guys
side of
हमारा
Gun
स्ट्रीम स्टार्ट
Dynasty.
हो चुका है।
Oh man.
Rushing
Let's
on
go.
up, Racha versus David 444 is going to
Oh,
be a
bhai.
rough one for
ये
Racha, but
कौन
they do
खेल रहा
have
है?
the electrotherapy on their
भाई,
side.
एक-
Valiant Dash breaks down their defenses. Racha with the
एक सेकंड रुको, साउंड थोड़ा सा कम कर देते हो यार। ये स्ट्रीम का साउंड बहुत ज्यादा है। स्ट्रीम का साउंड बहुत ज्यादा है गाइस। रुको थोड़ा सा कम कर देता हूँ। चलो चलो गाइस मजा आएगा, अब मजा आएगा गाइस, अब मजा आएगा, अब बहुत तगड़ा वाला मजा आएगा। ओ भाई ये कौन खेल रहा है? ओ भाई ओ भाई ओ भाई। तो हमारा कहाँ है भाई हमारा? ओके चलो अबे टीएजी एलिमिनेट हो गया। चलो कोई नहीं, पहला मैच है यार, पहला मैच में ऐसा कभी होता है, कोई दिक्कत वाली बात नहीं। बाकी ये कौन सा टीम है? जीडी यार, जीडी कौन सा टीम है? को मैं यहाँ से चलो ओके
to stomp down these squads out here at the Esports World Cup. Let's see how far they can go. But
Okay.
Falcons are not out of it just yet, completing their full revival spree here.
चलो
Full squad, but can
ट्रैवल विथ मी,
and be battle
स्वागत है आपका स्ट्रीम में।
Speaking of that as well, I mean, EVOS had so
Hello.
many close calls throughout this entire game. I think that was two times.
यार मजा आने वाला है बहुत ज्यादा।
Middle of the circle already, as on fire runs for his life. Cypher going in for that chase.
AGL साइफा, अच्छा ये ऑल गेमर्स ग्लोबल है शायद।
Actually,
भाई क्या है तो मार रहा है बे।
one more to their name.
Yeah, on fire just had no chance there in that situation. AGL just swooping on and spotting a little prey and showing that they can be a prime predator.
BRU
That was a
भाई सबसे खतरनाक टीम,
an unfair fight. Now a team that has been keeping
मेरे ओपिनियन से सबसे खतरनाक टीम है गाइस BRU। बहुत ज्यादा खतरनाक ये टीम।
a lot of respect for these other squads, especially here on the Esports World Cup stage. Can this be their year? The third time here at EWC, and maybe the third time's the charm for the Thai squad.
Last movements now, we are seeing
चलो।
DRS and PDX still very much outside the zone, really taking their time here. But DRS is slowly moving to
Loud
Garena,
भाई।
a little bit
यार
nervous.
कमेंट्री में थोड़ा सा दिक्कत हो सकता है क्योंकि पहली बार पहला स्ट्रीम है ये मेरा,
Definitely are
तो ट्राई कर रहा हूँ मैं।
very constant.
तो जीडी फिलहाल टॉप में गाइस, फैल्कन सेकंड में है और इवोस 3 नंबर पे। भाई इवोस भी काफी तगड़ा टीम है। ओबे भाई जीडी ने 13 एलिमिनेशन कर दिया।
Back with a
भाई मैच तो देखकर लग रहा है कि फिलहाल स्टार्टिंग ही हुआ है।
man, Falcons just can't catch a break, can they? Gun Dynasty
ओ भाई
exactly who's going to be ruling these lobbies from the get-go on fire.
भाई हर ब्लेड 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 जो है ना भाई हर जगह।
The side of Falcons. Yes, they did manage to run around getting those revives, but the team just spread out too thin on the battlefield.
Yeah, they weren't able to play
और
together.
फैल्कन काफी तगड़ा खेल रहा है यार, फैल्कन बहुत तगड़ा खेल रहा है। अबे फैल्कन एलिमिनेट हो गया गाइस, फैल्कन एलिमिनेटेड। अबे भाई फैल्कन हो गया एलिमिनेट। ये DRS क्या तो यार, मुझे ना हर एक टीम का नाम नहीं पता ठीक से, कुछ टीम का नाम पता है।
Machine, which is quite far in that situation. Wouldn't have been able to bring anyone back. He was looking for those coins, and Takuri found some coins out of him instead.
Yeah.
सर्कल क्लोजिंग, जोन वापस। ओबे भाई जोन इतना छोटा हो गया।
You have EVOS hanging on PDX.
जोन तो बहुत ज्यादा छोटा हो गया।
Surprised if a big fight were to happen around here,
Yeah.
and it's going to be fire because GD right now is so comfortable northern side and alone.
Absolutely. 5 teams out of the equation. All
काफी सारे नए टीम्स आए guys, पता है काफी सारे नए टीम्स आए हैं।
kicking alongside the rail soldiers. Speaking of the rail soldiers, they drop into some hot soup and they're about to get cooked here if they don't walk away with some
ओ
good
भाई ये क्या भाई, इतना भसड़, अरे भाई
taken out as well. David shut down by Waka and Loud interfering in this battle. Can they
भाई क्या ही तो भसड़ मचा है भाई, क्या ही तो भसड़ मचा है। GD BNL XYY ने, भाई इसका नाम भी मुझे प्रोनाउंस करने नहीं आ रहा यार। चलो अरे इसको ना मैं प्रॉपर वो कर देता हूँ, फुल स्क्रीन कर देता हूँ। चलो ओके लेट्स गो, अब आएगा मजा। भाई क्या ही तो मारा भाई, क्या ही तो मारा।
Got sniped, quickly hopped on out of it to play the recovery. Now going to be tanking the damage from the blue, but he's looking for the vending machine. He's got enough coins to bring the full squad back. All he needs to do is just run out.
अरे यार दिख नहीं रहा यार तुमको, रुको।
He's right in the middle of the bullseye of the crosshairs of the opposite team, looking for an extra point.
ओके अब दिख रहा है, अब तुमको दिख रहा है, बहुत बढ़िया। भाई बंदा क्या है तो वो कर रहा है भाई। जीडी ने 15 किल मार दिए। ओके भाई फैल्कन एलिमिनेटेड। अरे भाई मेरा नोटिस ही नहीं किया यार। कोई ना भाई, अगले मैच में हम लोग प्रॉपर देखेंगे, ठीक है। मैं इस बार थोड़ा सा लेट हो गया, अगले मैच से प्रॉपर देखेंगे।
Position here, but just a tad bit too close to the edge of the current zone, which is moving aggressively. The problem is going to be DRS for AJL as they try to rotate in.
AJL ने कितना किल किया?
Compound cover.
AJL ने एक एलिमिनेशन लिए।
Full revive, clutch play. The squad is back, but the circle is small.
27 बंदे लाइव है गाइस, 27 बंदे लाइव है, 7 स्क्वाड लाइव है।
Let's see how the luck is for the Saare Gun Dynasty.
Interestingly enough as well,
वसाना भाई BRAO का पूरा टीम ऊपर बैठा है, उनके लिए बहुत बढ़िया एडवांटेज है, वो आसानी से एलिमिनेशन निकाल पाएंगे। भाई ये कौन सा टीम है? अच्छा ये वो है यार। लेट्स गो।
Just 6 eliminations, not too high, but it's not about the number of eliminations for EVOS. They just want to get to that final circle, safe and sound, just like what Buriram is doing. And I feel like that is
भाई क्या है भाई, वहां पर देखो EVOS, DRS, लाउड, PDX, भाई ऑलमोस्ट सब टीम एक ही जगह पर है। आर्सेनल पे BRU बैठा है, BRU वसाना भाई बहुत मतलब BRU का कितने बंदे अलाइव है? BRU के पास अच्छा फुल स्क्वाड अलाइव है, चलो बढ़िया। अच्छा 2 बंदे आर्सेनल के साइड है, 2 बंदे लेफ्ट साइड में है। एक स्नाइपर है।
Steal away the booyah and those extra few points in the last few battles. We can see a few players taking a bit more damage in the rotations. GD comes through here, will cross paths with DRS. BN is already at the bottom side. Even Vision as well.
Oh, David! Unfortunate for him. They have to pick him up. They have to defend David at all costs here. It's going to be tough. Nameless sprayed down. Moshi with a snipe from across. AWM solid. Barros taken out of the equation.
अबे भाई किसने मारा?
Scurrying around. Barely any points on their side.
भाई AG ग्लोबल तो भाई AG ग्लोबल तो बहुत ज्यादा वो कर रहा है।
And they're going to make a wild
AG ग्लोबल नहीं, और हाँ ठीक ही है।
to see if or not they can stab the players on the side of DRS as well as Gun Dynasty. But they're going to be pressured with all of the glue wall melting.
भाई भसड़ देखो यार, क्या भसड़ मचा इधर।
High ground advantage up against them as well.
पॉजिटिव एलिमिनेट, अच्छा पैराडॉक्स गेमिंग एलिमिनेटेड गाइस, पैराडॉक्स टीम एलिमिनेटेड, सॉरी पैराडॉक्स गेमिंग।
The players of AGL as well as EVOS, things are getting messy.
भाई टीम
wipe out so quickly as AJL is now
भाई AGL भी एलिमिनेट होगा।
way into the circle and staying
भाई क्या ही तो ये भाई ये GD क्या ही तो खेल रही है भाई, क्या ही तो गेम प्ले दिखा रहा है ये GD।
the zone as well.
Benel has kept the squad
चलो,
together so
थोड़ा सा
far
बढ़ा
for
देते हैं।
the Gun Dynasty, but can he continue to pull in more numbers for the team? They are in
मैं
a
कुछ भी
great
बोला,
spot,
GD
but
बहुत
they also
तगड़ा
need to
खेल रहा है,
move
बहुत
into the
तगड़ा।
circle, and they've got a great position to attack.
भाई पूरा EVOS के ऊपर पूरा प्रेशर बना के रखा है GD वालों ने।
Lightning zone right above their heads, and this is a
भाई थ्रोएबल्स, हिल पिस्टल्स सबका प्रॉपर एकदम यूज किया जा रहा है GD के द्वारा। अच्छा लाउड, अबे GD भाई कब GD से बढ़ के लाउड आ गया पता ही नहीं चला। भाई पहले जीडी ने, उसके बाद अभी लाउड ने भाई बीआरओ मतलब उनके ऊपर इवोस को जो प्रेशर बना के भाई ये देखो भाई साहब, इधर इवोस इधर बुरीराम भाई पूरा भसड़ है, पूरा भसड़। टीम इवोस एलिमिनेटेड भाई, क्या ही तो मार रहा है भाई, अलग ही लेवल है भाई, अलग ही लेवल का वो भाई। यहाँ पर बीआरयू के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा तगड़ा प्रेशर बन चुका है, बहुत तगड़ा। स्काइलर वाला बीआरयू पूरा एकदम कवर में है, एकदम पूरा एक गलती और सब खत्म। फिलहाल 4 स्क्वाड बाकी है बस। भाई बीआरयू अंदर घुसने का ट्राई कर रहे हैं एल शेप के, बीआरयू अंदर घुस चुका है एल शेप के। अब शायद से बीआरयू ओपी भाई, बीआरयू ने पूरे एल शेप को डोमिनेट कर दिया। सामने जीडी है भाई, उसके लेफ्ट में ही लाउड है भाई। यहाँ पर 4 टीम का पूरा एब्सोल्यूट भसड़ बच चुका है, एब्सोल्यूट क्लैश भाई। यहाँ पर एक बंदे ने मोर्स यूज कर लिया भाई। मोशी भाई मोशी क्या चल रहा है वैसे? अच्छा वो मोशी स्नाइपर है भाई। जीडी का बस एक बंदा लाइव है भाई, जीडी का सिर्फ एक ही बंदा लाइव है। कैसे आपको क्या लगता है ये वाला राउंड कौन जीतेगा, ये मैच कौन जीतेगा, आपको क्या लगता है यार बताओ भाई? बुरीराम का बहुत ज्यादा चांस है ये वाला जीतने का, लाउड का भी चांसेस है भाई। लास्ट जोन है और लास्ट जोन में अभी भी पूरा 4 स्क्वाड जिंदा है, लेकिन जीडी का बस एक ही बंदा बचा है भाई। डीआरएस क्या ही तो वो कर रहा है भाई, क्या ही तो नेटिंग वेटिंग कर रहा है भाई, थ्रोल्स का प्रॉपर यूटिलाइज कर रहा है भाई। यहाँ पर डेविड थोड़ा सा कैंपिंग करते हुए, मतलब कवर में, सॉरी कैंपिंग नहीं कवर में भाई। लाउड के साथ भाई जीड, अच्छा गुंडी डायनेस्टी, अच्छा जीडी का मतलब गुंडी डायनेस्टी, तो गुंडी डायनेस्टी गाइस एलिमिनेटेड। अब बारी से बीआरयू, लाउड और डीआरएस। बीआरयू का भी 2 बंदे नॉक हो चुके हैं, एलिमिनेट हो चुके हैं भाई। क्या भाषा वो भाई, भाई बीआरयू एलिमिनेटेड भाई, अनएक्सपेक्टेड भाई, अनएक्सपेक्टेड था। लाउड का 3 बंदे अलाइव और डीआरएस का सिर्फ 2 ही बंदे अलाइव है भाई। लाउड जीत सकता है यार ये मैच, लाउड जीत सकता है भाई। डीआरएस का एक बंदा नॉक, तो शायद दिया दे दिया भाई। हिल पिस्टल सब कुछ का एकदम प्रॉपर वो हो रहा है वो भाई। लाउड जीत गया तो पहला मैच लाउड जीत चुका है भाई। क्या ही तो भाई मचाया भाई, क्या ही तो मचाया एंड में। मजा आ गया यार, मजा आ गया भाई, कसम से मजा आ गया।
Loud 6th at the Esports World Cup 2024, but technically as Team Solid, a majority of the Team Solid players on Loud right now.
मजा आ गया यार।
And they are here to run circles around these teams. Again, Tash, I mentioned during the game, it's not about
चलो भाई साहब,
it's all about
पहले मैच में जो भसड़ देखने को मिला ना भाई, मतलब अलग ही लेवल का भसड़ मचा था पहले मैच में, अलग ही लेवल का।
Yeah, it's really exciting to see them as well. They weren't too flashy super early.
Yeah.
When we saw toward that mid game, they made so much noise.
अरोड़ा के, अच्छा ये अरोड़ा गेमिंग यार, मुझे ना काफी सारे टीम्स का नाम नहीं पता, कुछ ही टीम्स का नाम पता है बस मुझे।
Yes.
And which fight they decided to just leave alone.
And I have to say, it's Trap that was the mastermind of that battle. constantly pulling the timing perfectly for the side of Loud.
भाई
If it wasn't
साहब,
for them, I think
literally.
Buriram would have a
Replay.
easy
ओ
rotation
ये
to
कौन सा
that
वाला
final
moment है?
circle to avoid the battle. But the
अच्छा,
thrill of
जब
battle,
दो
and
squad
again,
alive थे।
even in the final battle up against
भाई आवाज भाई
Equations
लाउड ने
DRS,
क्या है
it
तो
was a
भाई लाउड का
battle
ट्रैप ने
that
क्या है
made the
मारा भाई,
biggest of
ग्लोअल
mistakes.
के ऊपर
And
से
this guy
कूद के
is
बंदे ने
not just
खत्म
a
कर
small
दिया।
player who activates the thrill of battle from the back and then allows the rest of his team members to get the job done. He hops on into the fight as well with the M590.
चलो यार,
Phenomenal
मजा आ गया,
tactical
कसम से
skill,
मजा आ गया।
phenomenal timing, everything went well here for Loud, but I have to say that was a really messy lobby because again, that's exactly what we expect here. Day one, game one, you barely know what
भाई
your opponents are going to
भाई लाउड का ट्रैप का ये मोमेंट था ना भाई, अनएक्सपेक्टेड था।
It's really a toss of a coin at the end of the day, and I think Loud handled these situations out there really fine.
Yeah, and I think what's really exciting as well for me personally, I thought that today we're going to be seeing the rise of the underdogs, right? The more quieter teams that never really made that big splash quite yet, because that's usually how day one goes, because everyone's a little bit more cautious. Regardless, after this, we'll be seeing more of the free fire at EWC, so do not go anywhere, excuse me, we'll be right back.
उफ,
Play a superpower.
अरे मेरा लाइफ कहाँ से वो हो गया अभी?
Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
Hello
तो
guys,
भाई
welcome to EWC 2026 Paris. I'm Conchita and right next to me is Wasana from Buriram United Esports. We're gonna have a bit of a chit chat. Of course, we have Kay here to help translate us as well. Okay, Wasana, welcome back to EWC.
यार मुझे लगा था इस बुरीराम जीतेगा यार, सच है, लिटरली मुझे लगा था कि बुरीराम जीतेगा इस वाले राउंड में, इस वाले मैच में बुरीराम जीत जाएगा, पर एक्सपेक्ट अनएक्सपेक्टेड लाउड जीत गया। और मैं लाउड का वो मोमेंट, मतलब क्या ही तो मोमेंट था बे, ग्लोबल के ऊपर से बंदे ने उठ के मार दिया, क्या ही तो मोमेंट था। चलो
ในรายการที่พวกผมอยากคว้าแชมป์ไม่ได้ครับแล้วก็การเตรียมตัวพวกผมก็เตรียมตัวมา
पर लेकिन यार देखो, मैं बस ऐसे ही बोल रहा हूँ, ठीक है, मतलब ये वसाना को देखकर लगता है कि बंदा सोया नहीं है, पूरा एकदम अंधा ग्राइंड कर रहा था पूरा।
Can't wait to be back on the stage.
Ooh, okay. So speaking of preparation, we all know that the other teams are also going for the title. Obviously, this is the one title that Buriram United really wanted to have. What do you think is the biggest obstacle that you're
तो
going
बताओ
to face on
अगले राउंड में कौन सा टीम जीतेगा यार, बताओ यार गाइस, कमेंट में बताओ अगले राउंड में कौन सा टीम जीतेगा, आपको क्या लगता है? अरे भाई ये क्या हो गया जी?
พร้อมมากที่จะได้ขึ้นเป็นแชมป์ในรายการ EWC 2026 เนี่ยฮะอยากสอบถามว่าเรามีอุปสรรคอะไรไหมในช่วงการเตรียมตัวการแข่งขันครั้งนี้ครับ
ก็น่าจะเป็นเรื่องสำหรับผมก็น่าจะเป็นเรื่องสุขภาพครับเรื่องแบบปัญหาของตัวเรามากกว่า
अच्छा ट्रैवल, भाई ट्रैवल विद बी का भाई अब समझा कि भाई ये बंदा कौन है।
Our health issue like our health condition because like we have to fly over to like from Bangkok directly to
takes a lot and a while to get here. But speaking of contenders, who do you think is the biggest rival that you have on a World Cup right now? Because if we're talking about EFOS Divine, yes, they are the reigning champions, but it hasn't really been a great year for them.
ก็อยากสอบถามว่าคิดว่าทีมไหนฮะที่จะเป็นว่าแบบเป็นอุปสรรคหรือว่าเป็นตัวที่เป็นทีมที่ทำให้เราเข้าถึงจุดที่เรียกว่าเราได้แชมป์ได้ยากที่สุดครับ
สำหรับผมก็
โอ
ไม่
เค
มีเพราะว่าส่วนตัวก็คือน่าจะคิดว่า
सच में यार भाई मजा आ गया यार भाई।
ได้กันทุกคน
भाई अगला मैच कब है? अगला मैच कब है?
I think
अगला राउंड
there's none of the teams
चलो देखते हैं।
gonna play
अगला राउंड कब है?
for us to claim the champion titles, but the biggest obstacle gonna be like ourselves and our players in the team.
अगला राउंड देख कर आता हूँ गाइस, अगला, अरे भाई ये
on the level that we practice.
अगला राउंड में देख कर आता हूँ, रुको गाइस एक मिनट। भाई इंटरनेट इतना क्यों वो कर रहा है बे?
That's a great answer. I love your answer, by the way. Love the confidence. Is there anything you'd like to say to the other team that are also competing against you today?
रुको
มีอะไรอยากจะฝากถึงทีมอื่นๆที่จะเล่นกับเราในวันนี้บ้างไหมฮะ
ก็
चलो
ผมขอตอบ
यहाँ
ท็อปห
से
นึ่งก่อนนะครับ
Well top one is mine.
Ooh,
Sure.
my God, I'm so excited. I
Okay,
can feel
round
the
one.
competition already. Thank you so much,
अच्छा
Rosanna.
4 बजे, यानी
Thank
भाई
you.
4 बजे राउंड 2 स्टार्ट होने वाला है, ठीक है, ओके। सो गाइस हमारा सेकंड राउंड स्टार्ट हो चुका है, मतलब स्टार्ट होने वाला है भाई। भाई वसाना का भाई देख भाई बंदा बहुत चिल है भाई, बंदा बहुत चिल है। ये देखो पूरा आंख वाक बंद एकदम, पर पूरा प्रॉपर कंसंट्रेशन जिसका बोलते हैं भाई। लैंड इवेंट देख के जो मजा आया ना, कसम से बता रहा हूँ, मजा आ गया।
is how Gun Dynasty is running the game out there. Eliminations wise, they absolutely knocked the ball out of the park, right? You have to respect the absolute tenacity. They bumped into many squads and
ऑल गेमर्स ग्लोबल भाई बंदा थोड़ा सा टेंशन में है। ऑल गेमर्स ग्लोबल देखकर लग रहा है बंदा थोड़ा टेंशन में है।
what you expect out of the LATAM squad. Again, mechanically very sound, and it looks like they have definitely worked on their rotations a lot. I feel like this is one of those teams.
भाई इस बंदे को भाई मैंने देखा सा लग रहा है, इवोस का है ना? हाँ इवोस का ही होगा, क्योंकि पिछले वाला जो स्ट्रीम था ना, मतलब पिछले FFWS में भी मैंने इसको देखा था, या फिर EWC में।
Because nobody would have expected that sort of a performance out of the Nepali squad.
Yeah, coming into DRS as well, I think that they're really good not only at rotations but also moving in their fights. They have a lot of zone control when they find an area. They are not quick to give it away either, and they're not quick to just really.
तो यार शायद से अभी गेम स्टार्ट होने ही वाला है, सभी लोग थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस वगैरह कर रहे हैं।
They're giving to other teams to make sure that in terms of survivability, they can survive all the way to the later stages of the map.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, in this game, what sounds easy is absolutely difficult to execute out there on the battlefield. We're absolutely perfect in this first game, right? You look at the mechanical skills, they were handling some of those gunfights like pros. Their timing were absolutely perfect. They have great numbers behind them, and it's a bit of a shocker for me because we definitely saw their performance at the Free Fire Max Asia Invitational, and they didn't really give us a lot to talk about, right? They had some good games, but fairly inconsistent with their run. But a game this explosive up against a lineup of squads that's, you know, global level, superstars, multiple.
Okay, चलो फिलहाल मैं थोड़ा सा वॉल्यूम को बढ़ा देता हूँ, बाद में इसको दोबारा से कम कर दूंगा।
Now the big question is of course going to be whether or not we're going to see the consistent plays out of them.
ये कौन सा टीम है? ये AG ग्लोबल है क्या?
Important to think about not only is just consistency. I'm a big believer that you gotta fail.
शायद से AG भाई।
Well, and I think that now that you mentioned the DRS didn't really have a good run, maybe they learned a lot from it. Maybe they picked up the weaknesses and made it way better for here. But again, this is after all the first map. It's still, I think, a heat check for many of these teams. They're trying to figure out where the drops are, how each.
यार क्या बोलूं समझ ही नहीं है, समझ में नहीं आ रहा भाई।
And also if you look at it from a standpoint,
भाई चैट पे पूरा TEC स्पैम हो रहा है बे, पूरा TEC स्पैम क्यों हो रहा है भाई इतना? भाई सब लोग चैट पे यार इंडिया स्पैम कर दो भाई, चैट पे पूरा इंडिया स्पैम कर दो। सभी लोग अभी फिलहाल प्रैक्टिस वगैरह कर रहे हैं, ट्रेनिंग वगैरह कर रहे हैं फिलहाल, लग रहा है। ये कौन सा टीम है? EWC का ऐसे बिठाया जाता है। इस बार ना शायद से वेनू और भी थोड़ा सा इम्प्रूव हुआ है, पता है? लग तो ऐसे रहा है कि वेनू काफी इम्प्रूव हुआ है।
Consistency on a stage like this is very difficult to hold on to. We have even seen teams like Fluxo kind of flunk out. So what more DRS, right? But if they do manage to pull it off, it will definitely be a legendary run.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. You know, coming in, we've seen so many legendary teams just really, you know, find their way almost to the finishing line and then just completely lose their cool. And the thing is, when you have nothing to lose, when you are on a big stage where you're just saying, hey, let's just come in here, have a great time without having to really bow down to the pressure from the bigger teams, you can make your name in history. And at Esports World Cup, everything is earned.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Team Apex Gaming earlier, the team from India, got knocked out.
Okay, so guys, हमारा next match start हो चुका है। साउंड को मैं थोड़ा सा कम कर देता हूँ। Okay, तो guys हमारा next match राउंड स्टार्ट हो चुका है। नेक्स्ट मैप है, चलो देखते हैं क्या होता है फिलहाल। Okay, loud GD DRS Buriram Evos Falcon All Gamers TEC Titan Esports Club शायद से। तो यार भाई हमारा वो कहाँ उतरा? अरे TAG कहाँ उतरा है? TC अच्छा TS अरे TAG ओके TAG विंडमिल में होता है भाई। तो मैं ना फुल स्क्रीन कर लेता हूँ। ओके इस चैट विंडो को हटा देता हूँ फिलहाल। भाई अब आएगा ना मजा, अब भाई प्रॉपर व्यू आएगा। ओके अबे भाई भाई अरोरा स्पोर्ट्स से तो भाई उधर से ही मैच फाइटिंग लेना शुरू कर दिया यार। भाई अरोरा ने उतरते ही फाइट लेना चालू कर दिया। अरोरा के साथ में किसका हो रहा है? जीडी का हो रहा है। उतरते ही फाइट। ओ भाई भाई जीडी का एक बंदा खत्म, जीडी का एक बंदा खत्म हो चुका है भाई। इवोस भी आ चुका है इधर, इवोस का एम गॉड आ चुका है भाई। तीन टीमों का अलग ही क्लैश हो चुका है इधर। ओके तो अरोरा स्पोर्ट्स का एक बंदा एलिमिनेट हो चुका है भाई। ये भाई जीडी अरोरा इवोस भाई तीनों टीम एक ही जगह में, तीनों के तीनों टीम एक ही जगह पे। तो हमारा टीम फिलहाल 12 नंबर पे। कोई बात नहीं यार, होता है, चलता है, होगा सब, मतलब बहुत बढ़िया खेलोगे भाई। अबे ये बंदा ऐसे खड़ा क्यों है यार? इसने शायद से नोटिस भाई डबल वेक्टर, भाई डबल वेक्टर लेकर पुश कर दिया पूरा। अच्छा कौन सा टीम का बंदा क्या है वो? टीसी ब्लेड, ये बांग्लादेशी टीम है, टाइटन स्पोर्ट्स क्लब है शायद से।
No, it's just so unlikely to meet them. I just want to say I'm loving this proactivity coming in from EVOS. They heard sounds.
फिलहाल अरोरा स्पोर्ट्स ने ही 2 किल्स किए हैं, मतलब 2 एलिमिनेशंस निकाले हैं। ओके भाई जीडी ने 24 पॉइंट्स निकाल लिए। भाई सब भाई, अच्छा तू टैग और ओलिविन एक ही जगह पर क्लैश ले चुके हैं। अच्छा ये हमारा, अच्छा ये फैल्कन है, सर ओलिविन यानी मैं फैल्कन की बात कर रहा था। ये टैग है क्या? अच्छा नहीं, अच्छा कैसी है तो भाई टैग कैसे हो सकता हो? तो फैल्कन होगा। अच्छा उनके अच्छा सामने ये टैग यानी टीम एपेक गेमिंग फोटो भाई। टीएजुलविन पर हमला, फैल्कन ऑन फायर का टीएजुलविन पर हमला भाई। टीएजुलविन बहुत ज्यादा गंदा डैमेज खा चुका है भाई, बहुत गंदा डैमेज खा चुका है। अरे यार भाई फैल्कन ऑन फायर ए भाई, भाई टीजी का शायद 2 प्लेयर डाउन हो चुके हैं। ओ भाई अबे नहीं यार, टीजी का 3 बंदा डाउन हो गया क्या? भाई टीजी के पास 2 ही बंदे लाइव है अभी फिलहाल, उनका 2 बंदे एलिमिनेट हो चुके हैं। पैराडॉक्स गेमिंग एलिमिनेट हो चुका है। ओ भाई क्या मारा भाई, भाई केडी गॉड ओपी, केडी गॉड ओपी इन द चैट। क्या ही तो मारा भाई, क्या ही तो मारा भाई। पलक झपकते केडी, ओबे उसको पीछे से हमला कर रहा है, पलक झपकते बंदे ने उसको मार दिया। ओबे भाई 150 का केडी गॉड को 150 का पड़ गया भाई। दोनों एकदम आमने सामने है, दोनों एकदम आमने सामने है भाई। मिन्यूज से क्या फोड़ रहा है बंदा। अबे यार भाई यार टीजी का साइड से एक ही बंदा लाइव है फिलहाल। पीना ने केडी गॉड को नॉक कर चुका है, केडी गॉड एलिमिनेट हो चुका है। भाई टीएजी, अच्छा टीएजी का तीनों बंदे रिवाइव हो चुके। अच्छा ओके भाई सामने शोटो है, वॉल्विन है और एक और बंदा खा है। अच्छा शोटो है, वुल्विन है और भाई टीसी ब्लेड। ये कहाँ भाई यार? अच्छा टीवी टावर के आसपास से शायद से टी है।
Alive and kicking with a ton of elimination points already on their side in this Saare game.
Oh man, Barrow's putting a damage on the top.
भाई डीपी और एजीएल के बीच क्लैश मच चुका है। अब ये भाई
as well.
AGL ने कितने एलिमिनेशंस निकाले?
Battle popped in a timely manner, locking him down.
AGL ने अच्छा AGL में 5 एलिमिनेशंस निकाले. एलिमिनेशंस भाई DRS क्या खेल रहा है भाई? 5 एलिमिनेशंस 23 पॉइंट्स.
Criminal Cypher quickly getting away. Barros
भाई AGL एक बंदा भारी पड़ गया. डीपी भाई डीपी ने उसके बाद रश कर दिया.
holding back. Jazzy taken out of the equation. Barros, you monster.
Was the biggest blow by
ओपी
Jazzy, my
ओ
life.
भाई क्या है मारा? ओपी भाई ओपी.
Their Aswap down and out. Gonna try and see where exactly can go in this situation.
भाई पूरा जोन के अंदर है ये लोग. पूरा जोन के अंदर.
Already inside of the zone.
तो TAG कहाँ है फिलहाल?
AGL and Loud there.
TAG तो दिख ही नहीं रहा मेरे को.
Just like
वाटरफॉल के आसपास है बॉडी राम.
third time's the charm. David 444 taken out early here. This is
ओके अच्छा ओके सामने अच्छी टीम एपीएससी में सामने ये शायद
one after the other. You messed around.
बूढ़ी राम के सामने जीडी.
We could not get to the booyah, and this time we will take you out of the lobby early.
बूढ़ी राम ने शायद से एक को निकाल दिया. जीडी के एक को निकाल दिया शायद से बूढ़ी राम ने.
Benel, the super savior of Gun Dynasty, keeping them in the race.
Honestly, getting that pickup right as the glue wall goes down is just diabolical. Now, the zone has shifted a little bit more here, and in this situation,
ओके जीडी का एक बंदा रिवाइव हो चुका है.
back into the game.
Man, Benel, what in the world? This guy.
Yes, most revivals.
अच्छा तो टीवी टॉवर पे इवोस एम भाई इवोस का पूरा बंदा टीवी टॉवर पे आ रहा है.
Is absolutely
और
brilliant.
एक से मैंने टीएजी को भी तो देखा टीवी टॉवर पे आते हुए.
Amazing saves inside
ये इवोस है.
insane lobby on a stage like this. I wonder how is he managing to get things done, and how is he having so many coins on his side? We got to check that out later. He was divine though. Through eliminations, aggressive start this time around, but they want more.
ओके फैल्कन और डीआरएस के बीच क्लैश हो रहा है. डीआरएस का ठकुरी डाउन.
Are trying to deny them of that in this game too. Pina down already. Strowex, fantastic shot. He eliminates Pina from the equation. But no glue wall, but the time turner on his side allows him a quick recovery. K98 in hand. Anybody that takes the slide rails up against Alu might be in a tad bit of trouble.
फैल्कन तो यार काफी तगड़ा खेल रहा है.
That mistake just yet.
Doing a due diligence here, dotting their I, crossing their T's as well. And I think DRS is doing, I think, fairly wise to just really back away from this fight.
Yeah.
Now, for Falcons, they brought back Pina into the game. That's more firepower once again on their side here. The southern side here, DP and AGL looks very interesting right now.
Falcons understanding that Alu would probably pop their heads if they took the slide rail. Trying to just cut the distance down with the vehicle.
ओ भाई
On the other side, Demon's Pride top 6
भाई एजीओ भाई एजीएल के सामने डीपी.
position, and it's too easy.
भाई एजीएल ने डीपी को उड़ा एलिमिनेट कर दिया.
Sniper turned rusher in this situation, connected with the electrotherapy. This is the result of too many clash squads.
And in this situation as well, I think everyone is just sort of like kind of moving away.
ओके टीएजी ने फिलहाल एक एलिमिनेशन निकाले हैं.
So making sure that they don't get sniped out as they take that slide rails. We saw so many of that happening way too soon. Well, it is fun for us viewers to see it, but for them, it's probably a very, I would say, high stakes, heart attack situation.
The clash
चलो
competitions have forced
भाई सामने छोटो टीएजी का टीम एपीएसएम का छोटो सामने. और भाई डीआरएस का ठकुरी भी आ चुका है.
is having its results shown beautifully.
एक ही बंदा है शायद यहाँ पर टीएजी का.
And that's just going to be making
एक
these
मिनट क्या टीएजी का एक ही बंदा? अबे भाई टीएजी का एक ही बंदा है.
all rounders. But this next circle though looking deadly. Falcon scanning out the area of
पर डीपी मदर और डीपी जैजी तो यार जोन के अंदर से आ रहे हैं.
scan. Pina Racha not waiting. They sustain some
भाई
shots.
फैल्कन और टीएजी के बीच में दोबारा से क्लैश हो सकता है. दोबारा से क्लैश हो सकता है फैल्कन और टीएजी के बीच.
Tigers. EWOS divided, a double scan. Probably Aurora as well as Loud. EWOS in trouble. As two teams have got the information on them. Team Apex Gaming on the other hand. Already scanned out by the Falcon squad.
फैल्कन और सामने टीएजी साहिल है ना, साहिल जाट.
Trouble.
ओबे भाई साहिल को लॉक कर दिया.
Jat looking for the revival. Pulls
भाई
into the race, but he sacrifices himself in this.
केटी कोड निकल चुका है.
I mean, what can you do to just really survive longer here?
केटी कोड बच के निकल चुका है यहाँ से. सामने ही बोस
Out of the pen.
भाई.
Fire. Running
भाई
straight.
एक भाई आसमान से निकला. भाई क्या हो गया?
They don't know.
This could just
एक जगह से निकला भाई. सामने पूरा इवोस का स्क्वाड पूरा वेट कर रहा है पूरा. उसने उन लोगों ने शायद केटी को देख लिया.
don't know if or not that was super intentional, but KD got now clipped on by the thrill of battle, has got no way to use his active skill. But EVOS Divine not making the mistake
But-
of looking for one.
भाई ईवोस ने तो देख ही लिया होगा शायद से केडी गार्ड को.
They know the players of TEC is right there beside
तो यार
them.
हमारा नैन भाई का भी
Moving to
दिख
find
रहा
an
है.
extra point might put them in a little bit of trouble, and the veteran experience of EVOS Divine keeping them alive and kicking. But the Rail
अबे
soldiers hopping on
भाई
the
टीजी केडी गार्ड को डैमेज पड़ गया किसी से तो.
three-way battle.
Yeah, coming through here as well.
भाई बीआरयू मूशी क्या ही तो स्नाइपिंग करता है भाई, क्या ही तो स्नाइपिंग करता है.
Taken away. DRS gonna trust really hunker down here in this situation. Maybe wait out those fights or hoping for an opening to either go in for the fight or just go for a tactical retreat.
Yeah, playing on the meta, the AWM, the VSKs, they've got the long-range weapons perfect for Solara, and I will not
भाई
doubt those
भाई
M5
ईवोस और टीसी भाई और डीआरएस तीनों ऑलमोस्ट एक ही जगह पर है. ये जगह एक ही बंदा लाइव है यार.
This means Bangladesh is going to have a rough time to get out of this.
भाई टीजी भाई हमारे इंडियन टीम्स का पहला इंटरनेशनल एक्सपोजर है तो यार होता है यार, पहली बार है तो नॉर्मल है ऐसा.
There is a high chance it moves towards
भाई भाई बताना पड़ेगा यार ईवोस का रसिया और जो मोशी है भाई बहुत तगड़ा स्नाइपर है. बहुत तगड़े snipers हैं.
You go toward EVOS, there's a potential of getting knocked out by TEC from that top side of the building as well.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a situation where you guys have to wait out things.
Nice play, and now it's just all out annihilation. Messy. As multiple teams are so close to each other. Gun Dynasty does not manage the ambush, but Demon's Pride are swapped too low.
Demon's Pride eliminated. Oh bhai.
Out of the equation. David's picked right back up, and again Gun Dynasty is going to be a bit of a troublemaker in the final circle.
Now the wait happens here as we already see that for Aurora surviving a little bit longer.
भाई देखो यार हमारे टीम डेंडी को क्या सपोर्ट मिल रहा है वहां से.
They already got it at one pick off here. Aurora doing very well, fighting the players of GD, but they still have 3 more members to worry about on the other side.
Yeah, to snuff out Gun Dynasty.
अबे
gotta take
टीम
the
एपेक्स गेमिंग एलिमिनेटेड.
That man is a miracle worker.
भाई टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग एलिमिनेटेड.
Always brings the rest of the team members back in, but without him, they're going to crumble one after the other. Vega taken out of the equation as well.
जीडी भी एलिमिनेट हो चुका है.
Dynasty, that's the end for them. Aurora and Loud, this is going to be a rough rotation for them as everybody else has hopped on in.
भाई भसड़ देखो टीईसी भाई एजीएल और डीआरएस एक ही जगह में.
But now they've got one extra contender. AGAL have found safe haven here in the next circle already. Teams like Falcons, Loud, Buriram, Aurora, they're going to have to battle it out before stepping into the next zone.
And it is annoying and a very rough area here to the side here. Guangsa does fight one, and here comes the nades as well. The reposition is good. Trap doing huge damage onto the members of Buriram United.
One more, baby. And that's just going to keep them at bay. Get high Excel, looking for the pickup onto Asana. But now outside the zone, he has the electrotherapy though. And that keeps his buddy alive and kicking.
No way.
AGAL on the other hand, annihilate DRS Gaming. Finally, DRS had stayed in there for long enough. They were keeping an eye on EVOS. And AGAL with the backstab took advantage of that situation. Wasana's going to get snuffed out as well. And it looks like Buriram again not going to have a fantastic run at the start of our Esports World.
Team Falcons eliminated.
Team Falcons out. The Thai squad dropping like flies one after the other. But AGL
भाई लाउड क्या खेल रहा है यार इस बार. बे भाई एजीएल ने 15 एलिमिनेशन कर दिए.
for a big battle up against
अरे भाई साहब.
right after this.
Yeah,
कब कर दिए. अरोरा गेमिंग एलिमिनेटेड.
As for the White Tigers, trying to fight away to move away from this area. TEC is being so annoying, pressuring them from that top side, not able to move, and they have made a nice mountain to climb over and take this fight face to face.
Yes, that way to heaven. But who goes to heaven? Is it gonna be you guys or TEC right above? And smart play by EVOS here. They don't quickly.
भाई अभी बस 4 स्क्वाड बचे गाइस. क्या लगता है कौन जीतेगा गाइस? क्या लगता है आपको कौन सा टीम जीतेगा ये वाला मैच?
Move off the circle. AGL will have to keep an eye on Loud and TEC. They don't need to do much with that high ground. They just need to play fishing here. They do have a prime spot and a big advantage in terms of how that circle is now gonna move.
AGL looking really good just now. They move away. Aaron Racha's big opening to do is going to put a spanner in the works for AGAL. EVOS forced out here, takes the fight too loud.
Shooting the feed. Russia, sneaky play, has got the stealth bites of the Morse as well. But this is going to be a rough one for Russia if he cannot quickly catch up with the rest of his team members. And great placements of glue walls with the extra assistance of the stealth bites. EVOS are the first ones to make that move. TEC is going to be holding back. And Loud in a lot of trouble up against EVOS as well as TEC. But they've got the double vehicles on their side for the quick reposition. And now this is where Russia can be troublesome as he quickly shoots at those vehicles, lighting them up.
Yeah, that's the repositioning going to be taken away from them. And now Loud is stuck in a corner. What a shot coming in from Russia. Traded out though by Guangsa. But Ray, nice damage onto Saifa as well, taking two fights at the same time.
Oh, AGL and Ray with the god nades hitting a triple, saving AGL for the time being. TEC were doing a number on them, but EVOS Divine just ruining the party of Bangladesh right there and then. Ray with the final nade onto Kutush. The pickups were solid, and now the battle between EVOS and
भाई वो उसका रे बहुत तगड़ा खेल रहा है यार, बहुत तगड़ा। dunga बहुत तगड़ा खेल रहा है।
And he finds BZP from around the glue wall, looking for another, annihilates BZP first, and EVOS Divine looking strong for the booyah.
He's looking so good right now. Have 15 eliminations already. Guangsa and Nix already knocked out of the game. Loud with only one member still alive. What are you going to do here as AGL Nameless still managing to steal a
भाई TEC एलिमिनेट हो गया, टाइटन स्पोर्ट्स एलिमिनेट हो चुका है।
down for the count as EVOS, they know exactly where Nameless is. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do here? A triple man push, but there's still one more player Cloud to worry about.
Amazing run from Titan Esports Club. But Ain't God now looking to clean up house. Nameless found, Thrill of Battle pop. Nameless has no chance, and they all gank up upon him. Playing the game of numbers, looking for the final Loud player out there. No back-to-back booyah for Brazil. EVOS Divine, the reigning defending champions.
कौन सा टीम गया? भाई EVOS चैंपियन बन गया भाई साहब।
Russia putting in the damage and
Hi.
to every single one of these teams. EVOS have been so proactive with these early fights, maintaining the aggression all the way.
EVOS यार बहुत तगड़ा टीम है यार, ये भाई बहुत तगड़ा खेला है, बहुत तगड़ा।
This is what you want to see from your reigning defending champs, not taking it lying down, but rising up to the occasion and showing everyone not just rotations, but mechanically they're still sound. And yes, questions have been asked. What is going to happen to EVOS? Because after winning the Esports World Cup last year, they have been dormant. They have just been hibernating. They have not been a massive threat in any of the competitions that they hopped on into. But this is not that same EVOS Divine. They are rising up to the occasion, and they want to prove that the White Tigers are not here to play. They are here to annihilate. Look at these names, man. I mean, they were a flurry that
अच्छा AGL और EVOS ही था शायद।
Esports Club.
You know what's really interesting? In so many
अच्छा Loud और EVOS था।
what is our secret weapon? It was Russia,
भाई।
Russia, Russia. And he did. We saw that pressure coming in from him. But Ray as well is putting in and showing us why exactly he's also part of the team.
You know, a big problem that I had with the EVOS Divine run in 2025 is that without Russia, I think they would have lost out in many of those lobbies. Just like what Benel is doing for the side of the players of Gun Dynasty. We saw Russia being that backup player, that sniper that continuously revived the rest of his team members. But this time, they are not putting the responsibility on the shoulder of their super sniper. They are all playing their role. I think the rotations are so much more tighter. The teamwork is looking solid. And I feel like it was not like any of those players were bad. It's just that strategically, they were trying out a flavor that perhaps did not favor them, and it required multiple clutches from Russia. This time, if they continue this run, they don't need Russia to clutch it out. They are going to annihilate everyone.
Yeah, it's always important to talk about like how each player is individually important, right? Right now, match standings look so good. EVOS with 41 points, matching out with Loud Sneakers so quickly as well. These are only seen 2 maps.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, great equalizer here from EVOS. But again, shout out to DRS Gaming, the Rail Soldier, showing us that when you give a underdog team a opportunity on a stage like this, they will not let it go that easy. They're keeping up with the pressure that the competition brings, and they are delivering on every bit of expectation from the Nepalese fans. But here on the second page, you see there's a small little problem. India definitely has got one of the biggest crowds in terms of fan base, but they're not doing too well just yet. Now we've got Carol with the players here. Let's see exactly what the interview has for us. Tash and I will be right back with you.
Hello guys, Carol Bombshell here. Pleasure to be here, and especially with Trap, team's captain for Loud. Okay, Trap, você começou o dia já, o time da Loud já começou o dia com buia, e especialmente com a Buriram no top 4. Como é a confiança de você está nesse momento? Vocês ainda conseguiram chegar num segundo lugar nessa última partida. Você acha que isso tem sido importante para o time de vocês?
Acho que a confiança nossa está lá em cima, de acordo com os resultados que vêm durante alguns meses. Estamos evoluindo a cada dia, a gente quer muito representar o Brasil bem nesse Mundial. Já começamos muito bem, um top 1 e um top 2. É isso, estamos amassando e manter mais 4 quedinhas aí pra cima.
Yes, of course. Starting the championship, started EWC 2026 with Abuya was very important for us. Our confidence and our security, it's way above. And right now, to get Abuya in a second place, we feel like we are in the right path and to reach the finals. O time de vocês, o time da Loud, vocês conseguiram ter uma boa performance durante o Campeonato Brasileiro? Você acha que vocês estão no caminho certo para voltar a colocar a Loud no topo? Para, de fato, vocês voltarem a ser os reis do Free Fire no Brasil?
A gente veio para isso, a gente voltou para fazer a Loud ser campeã mundial, que é o objetivo da Loud e o nosso. E a gente voltou para colocar a Loud no topo, assim como nós também queremos ficar no topo.
Yes, of course. Performing that well in Brazil brings us such great confidence, and we are here for that. We are here to bring the old Loud that you guys haven't seen before, and right now we are gonna put Loud for sure on the top again, but not only in Brazil, in the world, and that's why we are here at EWC 2026. For us to finish our interview, I would like to ask, vocês terminaram o Mundial de Free Fire no top 5, né, no ano passado. Quão importante foi isso para vocês? Jogarem internacionalmente, obviamente que vocês estavam em outro time, mas você acha que esse resultado de um top 5 trouxe mais confiança para vocês performarem agora aqui no EWC 2026?
Com certeza, assim como no Campeonato Brasileiro que a gente sempre joga um campeonato e quando ele acaba e o desempenho não é tão bom, eu sempre solto uma frase que eu falo com o Joker, eu falo: mano, aqui nós aprendemos a jogar esse campeonato. A partir de agora, nós só vai desempenhar bem. E eu acho que foi o que aconteceu no último Mundial. Quando ele acabou, em vez de mim ficar triste e de cabeça baixa, eu falei: a partir de agora, nosso time aprendeu como jogar o Mundial.
Wow, that's very special. Okay, so reach the Free Fire World Series finals last year in the top 5 gave us such a great and important understanding in what we should do in Free Fire right now. And I told my coach, okay, so right now we are learning even more to play Free Fire. We are in the right path, and I think we are more than prepared to take the world right now, and that's exactly what we came to do here at EWC. Thanks so much for your time. Good luck in the next match. Make the L. And I'm back to you guys at the studio.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights. Better get right, I'm champion.
Oh.
He was so exposed, Falcons can ruin it.
अच्छा ये शायद से लास्ट ईयर का रिप्ले है.
What we are seeing in front of us here right now. And the team who ended Russia with the final elimination.
यार ये लास्ट ईयर का वर्ल्ड कप का वो है.
Just thinking about we're gonna lift the trophy together. I don't think
ये रसिया है.
when that moment. That was my first international game, so that was quite easy for me to get the MVP.
भाई ये जो फीलिंग है ना भाई, ये फीलिंग ही अलग है. जो ये फीलिंग है ना.
Strong in 2025 was the wonder kid called Russia. You know, he's been in the circuit for many years, and for many years he could not play on a stage like this because he was underage. Their best sniper, and I think that was their secret.
भाई ये वो यार
he is the most
भाई बंदे ने लास्ट ईयर जीते बाद यही मूव किया था.
He never ever underestimates anyone. I think the most important thing is he wants to prove himself out there as well. And the moment he got the opportunity,
इनका कोच है शायद से ये.
Exactly that.
Esports, this is the time to shine! Sergeant, Abuya!
No, I think I feel so confident. We're training so hard in Indonesia, so we're very confident to lift the trophy again.
21 elimination from the champions of Clash Quad and still on the roll, and Evo's being taken down.
Ya, setelah di EWC kemarin kita sudah tidak mendapatkan piala-piala lagi, kita tidak bisa ngejuarain turnamen-turnamen berikutnya mungkin karena kita udah siapa kita sebenarnya. Tetapi di hari ini kita sudah ingat siapa diri kita sebenarnya.
If you look at the data, it says they will not be the back-to-back champions. If you look at the kids and if you look at how determined they are to be back-to-back champions, there's a slight possibility. But it's going to be difficult because for the first time ever on the global stage, we've got 24 teams. Everybody's got that exact same dream. Because that dream is alive for the rest, the chances of EVOS Divine doing it back-to-back may be a little lower.
Kalau untuk tim-tim lain sih, kalau buat saya sendiri saya tidak perlu memikirkan banyak hal tentang tim-tim lain karena itu saya sudah percaya kepada coach saya. Jadi saya tinggal fokus aja main. Nah itu yang terbaik pokoknya. Pesan-pesan untuk tim-tim lain ya hati-hatilah karena ini EWC bukan turnamen yang lain. Kalian bisa lihat.
Guys, जो भी बंदे यार स्ट्रीम को देख रहे हैं स्ट्रीम को लाइक कर दो यार भाई, जो भी बंदा देख रहे हो। और यार चैट में टीम इंडिया स्पैम कर दो, पूरा टीम इंडिया स्पैम कर दो। तो हमारा शायद से नेक्स्ट राउंड स्टार्ट होने वाला है। ओ भाई ये पेरिस है क्या? अच्छा हाँ ये पेरिस ही है। भाई पेरिस में हो रहा है तो ऑब्वियसली पेरिस ही होगा। अच्छा नेक्स्ट मैच कब है? गाइस यार नेक्स्ट मैच कब है?
To this amazing panel that we have, and it's none other than Lace. But Lace, I'm actually not going to start with you just yet.
I just want to talk to me.
Sorry, because I want to talk about
end, guys.
And you were wondering how they
अच्छा
were doing.
4 मिनट बाद नेक्स्ट मैच है। ओके
They're doing pretty damn good.
They're doing pretty well. I'm kind of relieved actually because EVOS had so many close calls throughout the whole entire first game, and it got me worrying. Not something that I want to see obviously, but at least they slowly climbing the elimination points ladder, and they fixed what could be perfected on the first game because hey, come the second game, they know exactly what they need to do, and we see Rasha obviously as a pivot sniper. He's gonna need more room for him to do dynamic movements, and that's exactly what the support gave them. So yeah, it works well for them. EVOS is finally finding the rhythm that they kind of lost the first time. Again, maybe opening game, of course, the nerve is something that
अबे यार भाई इंटरनेट का क्या सीन है बे? इंटरनेट का अलग ही सीन चल रहा है।
maybe we cannot explain. It's something that's always difficult, always hard. Yeah, but now leading the standing with 41 total points and 20 elimination points. I mean, that is crazy. Even you have to admit that.
I mean, it's amazing. Not gonna lie, seeing the players just
टॉप भाई वो टॉप पे है भाई, टॉप 6 में टीम फेलिकन्स नंबर 6 में।
Probably wondering which keys are we gonna be crushing now. But talking about
हमारा टीम का है यार।
Crushing some keys. We're gonna talk about Loud.
टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग टॉप 11 पर है। ओके टॉप 11 पर है टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग।
But boy, they took advantage of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, coming from the position we're in heat, they're not really found in the map. I'm really looking forward to how they're going to adapt right now. They were trying to do the similar approach on that game number 2, but it's just unfortunate that EVOS Divine is the one who cut them off on the rotation, just hanging in the middle of
हाय यार भाई क्या हो रहा है?
that final circle is one thing that Loud has been doing for the first 2 games, but it's just unfortunate that rotation was not favoring them, and even Launchpad was not on them in that final moment. So it was tough for them to make that rotation.
Was one thing. I mean, we've been seeing some of these squads now being able to perform well, right? Evo's, Loud out of Brazil. Earlier you were talking about rhythm, Conchita. I mean, Loud definitely is finding that rhythm. One team that is currently not finding their rhythm, though, Lace,
is none other than बहुत अलग ही लेवल पर खेलते हैं यार। बहुत अलग ही लेवल पर खेलते हैं EVOS
on their shoulders. So you know, amounts of other Falcons, you know, in different games coming through. So of course, you know, they're sitting in that kind of middle of the pack at the moment. They are trying to find those eliminations early on. There was actually a moment in the second match where we saw Team Falcons hunting down Team Tag. They were able to take 2 limbs from the team, and they're like, no revivals for you guys. And we just saw them sort of launch over to where Tag was trying to recover the rest of the team and try and get those early eliminations. So, you know, I think they're sitting about, 6th place, 27. It's nothing, you know, at the top with those 41 sorts of points there. But look, they have shown the same kind of consistency that they had, you know, in these previous global series that they had. Sometimes they do incredibly well. Sometimes they choke and aren't flying like a Falcon should. But look, don't take your eyes off Team Falcons, guys, because they are capitalizing on those early eliminations, which are putting those points on the boards. And, you know, they're just looking for that booyah.
Yeah,
they're looking for that later on.
Let's see if they're going to end up getting it, because I'm looking at number 4 here.
Yeah.
Gundy Nasty. I mean, 32 points, that's not bad either.
Yes, Gun Dynasty, that first game was definitely something. I did not expect them to do so well. I mean, they have been consistently showing amazing strength and courage and the skill to back it up. So I am just at awe at how amazing Gun Dynasty is performing at the very first game. And sitting at 4th with 22 elimination points surely isn't bad. But I also kind of want to talk about Buriram, AGAL. It's like they're not fully being themselves. I don't know what is happening actually, Neptune.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, from what we've seen in AGAL and Buriram, they're trying their best to study their opponents just yet. Again, it's some of the teams are in here quite fresh.
Yeah.
They haven't met them in Southeast Asia or some of the global
Paradox
tournaments.
भी नहीं है शायद से ये.
So they need a little bit of time to study their opponents, and that's
All
what they're doing
gamers.
for most part of the game. First half was just silent.
Loud.
And then towards the end, that's where they tried to put in a little pressure. But at some point, there's still a lot of teams surviving towards that final circle. So third party is Buriram United's one's weakness.
Yeah, I
हमारा
agree, because when I see
team
Buriram United,
India
they're trying
tag.
so hard to match the Brazil's gameplay, but somehow it bite them back in the process. So it's definitely
चलो यार,
something
start
that we
होने
want to
वाला
see
है.
from Buriram, either from
हमारा
AGAL.
next
Yeah, and I was
match.
talking to Lucifer, actually, one of the casters, that you'll be able to see later on today. And I was asking him about Tag. You guys were mentioning Tag, how they're just currently not performing too. This squad, he was telling me that this squad tends to start slow, but they picked it up on the second day. Now, earlier, let's rewind it back. You were talking about consistency, right? That's not the consistency that we want to see out of these teams. So now that we got 2 matches done today, we got 4 matches left for this Group A. What are your expectations for Tag?
Actually, my expectation is that they could somehow learn from the mistakes, obviously, because the first 2 games, boy, oh boy, they were a little all over the place. If I can say that, I'm really sorry again.
It's okay. It's our job. It's our job to point out.
अच्छा टोटल शायद से 6 मैचेस होते हैं क्या?
I mean, obviously they have
हर एक ग्रुप का.
quite a name, that a reputation they need to upkeep. So this is just something that I feel very sad about seeing from them. I just hope that they can bounce back and do
हाँ, हर एक ग्रुप का. अच्छा, बरमुडा सोलारा हो गया. अच्छा, बरमुडा का विनर था गेम 1 का लाउड, उसका रिवर्स अब परगेटरी मैप में होगा. उसके बाद नेक्स्ट कलाहारी, फिर नेक्स्ट era. Okay, let's go guys, let's go. अभी हम लोग नेक्स्ट मैच देखने वाले हैं, जो कि होने वाला है परगेटरी मैप के अंदर. 4 मैचेस बाकी हैं और इस बार हम लोग इस बार भाई देखते हैं, इस बार हो सके मतलब टीम एपिसेमिंग अगर अच्छा कर पाए, उम्मीद तो है.
I can tell that there's something Lace really want to tell them, but she can't say it on camera.
देखो यार भाई, देखो मतलब टैग बहुत गंदा खेल रहा है, मुझे भी पता है, लेकिन यार हम लोगों को इतने साल बाद देखिए, मतलब लास्ट कौन से साल में गए थे इंडिया इंटरनेशनल स्टेज में, इंडोनेशिया गया था शायद लास्ट, वो भी मुझे नहीं पता कि गया था या नहीं, लेकिन मुझे जितना पता है कि ये फर्स्ट इंटरनेशनल टूर्नामेंट है इंडिया का, इंटरनेशनल स्टेज है, तो यार उन लोगों का पहला इंटरनेशनल एक्सपोजर है, तो धीरे धीरे हो जाएगा.
Okay, Purgatory coming up. What are we expecting, Neptune?
I'm hoping for a skewed flight path and a rough circle. Sorry for the teams out there. I know you want to get it easy right now, but
Just like Aurora.
Yeah, I should be asking for the other one, for the reverse, because what I did to Aurora right there was just definitely jinxed them.
I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself, okay? We got 2 more matches coming up before you probably end up seeing us. Overall, 4 more
चलो यार
matches here.
मैच स्टार्ट होने वाला है शायद से
Would you like to
देखते
change
हैं
your pick from Aurora?
Oh my god.
I gotta give him a chance.
I'm scared for you, really.
Yeah.
Would you like to curse any other team, sir?
Actually, I don't want to curse any teams anymore because it's very getting very dangerous right now. This is a big stage, and if I'm being blamed of them not getting into the next stage, so I don't know. But I'm still cheering on for Aurora. Hopefully this time it's just a first game jinx, and then the rest will be quite well, because even in game 2, we've seen them perform well. So first stage jitters or first game jitters, that's what they might have felt. But yeah, let's see if they can get that booyah.
That's exactly
I see you
what
smiling on it. She's like,
yeah, I mean, I've been talking about the first day. It's always unpredictable,
यार
right?
यार
Because
इस
of the
बार
jitters, the nervousness,
मतलब
the pressure that they have. But yeah, going
Apex
into the
से
third and the fourth game, I think a lot of things
अच्छा
needed to
करने का
change.
तो
And
वो है
Purgatory is actually a map that is a little forgiving on that. It's a great place for a reset. So I'm just so excited to see what the teams are going to bring.
and we have seen some of the other squads, right? Especially going back to the first game, AG. AG did great. I mean, this is one squad that you guys were picking as a surprise to be able to do good here. Boy, did they surprise us in the first game.
Yeah, one thing that the personality of AG is trying to keep away from all those engagements.
Yeah.
If they can bathe onto outside of the circle on the third, fourth phase of that map, then they will do so. And even with a team booster that we have, the out of zone buff that is available, say they will be able to soak up in there, just get their position, because do really need that time to get information as a sniper as a squad, and also the launch pad. That's the angle that needs to take right there was just difficult, especially if
भाई ये वॉलेट लो कैसे हो गया
like sneaking on down to AJ, and AJ was like, no, we need a little bit of space. So that's what you're saying. Match number 3, they're going to need their space, and then that's where they fly.
Okay, you know what? You got lucky.
हाँ यार
Because I was gonna have you pick a team, and I was gonna see if you would end up cursing a team. But I'm being told Game 3 is ready, so why not? Let's send it to AJ and Tash, and maybe they'll be willing to curse a team.
तो हमारा गेम शायद से स्टार्ट होने वाला है
Yeah, thanks, Seven. You know what? I don't think we're going to be cursing any squads. In fact, we are going to be blessing them with a little bit of extra luck out there. You know, in the first 2 games, we did see consistency from the reigning defending champions, EVOS Divine, as well as brilliant squad Loud. But there are a couple of teams down at the bottom. I'm hoping to see more from this time round. I think that the panel called them out earlier. Tag, Team Apex Gaming. The Indian squad hasn't really been having a smooth run out there. But Purgatory is a huge map. Tons of compounds out there. You can play avoidance.
Okay, तो हमारा next match start हो चुका है.
Engagements, and this could just be the kind of break the Tag needs. But that is going to be purely dependent on if or not they're going to be able to avoid the early hot drops.
Yeah, I really want to also say that some teams take a while to really heat up, right?
Yeah.
Especially since today and tomorrow, they have a little bit of a leeway, just really find their footing. I think, you know, like what Conchita said, they're nervous, they're a little bit
अच्छा लाउड और इवोस ने 2 बूया मार दिए हैं.
Things should just ease up.
Absolutely. And again, Team Apex Gaming in a little bit of a pickle. They've got 2 monsters right beside them. One from LATAM.
TAG कहाँ उतरा? अच्छा. ओबे भाई TAG और GD एक ही जगह उतरा भाई. ड्रॉप क्लैश लेंगे. ड्रॉप क्लैश लेने वाले शायद से.
Scanning the area as well on fire, and Racha just at the perimeter looking to play third party. And perhaps this is that one big blessing that Team Apex Gaming is going to get from this equation. Maybe having Falcons a little bit closer to Gun Dynasty will give them an advantage to survive this initial battle.
Yeah, do you already
भाई
bought
टी से तो उतरने का सासा एलिमेंट हो गया.
barely alive.
Tags out?
Live, yeah. Oh man.
How in the world?
भाई टी से तो भाई उतरने के सासा एलिमिनेटेड.
Hopping on into the game here. Unbelievable. 19 points. And they do not have anything from this game. But Gun Dynasty, on the other hand, they're going to go in here for the annihilation. But now, punishing KD God and the super survivor, super reviver of the Gun Dynasty squad, looking for more. Will miss Shoto.
ओ भाई बढ़िया यार छोटो बढ़िया
catching up with him, taken, but now
भाई क्या ही तो मारा छोटो ने भाई बढ़िया
responsible to bring the team back into the game, and now he has been brought in here. Now Tag has an idea where exactly everyone is. Revoz decides to join in on the fight as well. Still waiting in the wings for the right, I think, opening, just really join in. But now on fire, finding Wolvin already, and this off angle by Rasha could be nasty for the Falcons players.
Team Apex Gaming, all the blessings in the world. See, I told you, panel, we were going to bless them, not curse them. With all the blessings in the world, they get to avoid the initial encounter. We thought Falcons was going to be a little bit of a problem to deal with, but the White Tigers have dropped on in to say hello. You turning the table on them. Ain't got taken out of the equation already. Apex, the electrotherapy is on connection. But unfortunately for the rest of the Falcons players, they will not be able to get out of this pinch. Shoto now tossing in the grenade. Can he find more? And it's just gonna be the ice grenade that gives him a little bit of an advantage here.
ओ भाई बढ़िया है ओ भाई छोटो जॉर्ड
Not running away, staying and taking the fight straight to them.
हाँ क्या ही तो गेम प्ले दिखाया भाई क्या ही तो गेम प्ले दिखाया भाई मजा आ गया ओ भाई बढ़िया टैग बढ़िया बढ़िया भाई बढ़िया भाई थर्ड मैच के स्टार्टिंग में तो तबाही मचा दिया टैग ने
It was the battle up against Paradox earlier, and Windy did a number on them. Connected with the electrotherapy, was down, almost taken out, but he got the triple on them to knock them out of the lobby early.
That is almost surgical when you think about it, how they're moving around together as a team. Meanwhile, Tag already on 6 eliminations here. Wolf is now back into the game. All eyes are on GD here, as Falcons as well is in trouble. There we go, Pina now out.
Shout out to production. I love the fact that they caught us up.
Oh,
what happened to TEC in the early
बढ़िया वोल्वेट वाह क्या ही तो मारा
But Team Apex Gaming, talk a little bit about some step up out there, baby. 7 eliminations already, and they're looking for more. Buriram finding the players on the side of DP. Madara straight down to the ground. Taken out of the equation already. Get high and Moshi looking for more. Top 16 though has got the vending machine right behind him. But does he have the coins to
भाई मजा आ गया अरे टैग का परफॉर्मेंस देखकर मजा आ गया
Jonah is just barely alive, trying to stay here. But even then, look at his rotations. I dig that for DP, the easiest way to move around this is just really stay alive and move away from the area.
Okay, to answer my own question, he did not have enough coins. Matara's not going to be brought right back in. But the stealth bites helps him to reposition, catching up with Aswab. The players now looking to find a little bit of a reset. You will find Paradox, sniping down, snipe himself. Pun not intended. Windy gonna get the wind knocked out of him. Pun definitely intended. And AGAL getting a number down on them. Paradox, can he continue to survive? And Panel is up to it again, continuously reviving the rest of his team members. He's pulling a Russia on the rest of the world here for the LATAM squad.
You know, I really am curious, like, toward the end of this tournament, how many Benel would have, revived, and would it be a world record to see how many he would be able to do so? Now, the rest of GD also back into the game as well. Look at this middle side of the map here. That's like, what, 4 teams hanging around there? Buram United, PDX, Aurora, even DRS somewhere close by, DP, AGAL. It's a cluster of fights.
Man, Azrael, wrong move there, but that was desperation for sure. Up against 2 players. Jumped on into the vehicle, but the VSK snaps him right out of it. And Aurora in a pinch. But maybe the interference of Buriram can help the Malaysian squad here. Alu now focusing on the players on the side of Buriram. Electrotherapy connected to the rest of his buddies. But if Alu gets taken out early here, DRS is going to be in a little bit of a pinch without their support player. But Prateek is in a great position with the Car 98. Should be able to have a tad bit of an advantage here. But the angle's just not working out for them. DRS wants to reposition. And thankfully, Buriram is actually not going in for the hunt. They're looking to reposition and find a safer haven for themselves instead.
Yeah, Buriram United always like to prioritize surviving super early as well. AGL Saifa does get one over on the other end. Got me a bit nervous for Buriram United when I saw some shots coming toward them. I think Loud was really hot at their heels right then. But Buriram United, if they do move forward there, they will be running up against DP. Loud on the other end, just putting in damage.
भाई टैग और AGL ने तो भाई कमाल कर दिया यार. भाई टैग ने तो भाई उत्तरदायी जो परफॉर्मेंस दिखाया ना, कसम से भाई अलग ही लेवल का परफॉर्मेंस
on the lobby today. And like you said, we've got too many squads in this next circle, and that's exactly what Purgatory has been able to give us for quite a bit. Stroex and Rasia leading the eliminations, and Benel actually keeping up with them. With the damage out there, I mean, Benel, what a superstar. Super survivor, super rescuer, reviving the squad multiple times. Also one of the rushers of the squad, bringing in the numbers through eliminations for the LATAM squad. This is the best that we have seen out of them, and I feel like they're giving us the consistency that we usually look for. But Team Apex Gaming, great start. Can they continue against the champions of 2024? Falcons right in front of them, but Falcons are spread out. This is a big advantage for Team Apex.
2024 का चैंपियन है गाइस Falcons.
Great
EWC
really finding its openings, and you can tell they're very hungry. They've been hot on the Falcons' tails for quite some time here. Even Shoto on fire right now, and the rest of TAG wants to collapse onto this fight. They've taken away the space.
ये Shoto के नाम पे फायर क्यों है यार?
They gotta be careful here. They don't have information. They're rushing straight.
भाई असर मच चुका है. Falcon और अच्छा Falcon अच्छा DP भाई DP दो टीम है क्या?
Gives them the victory over Team Apex Gaming, and as requested, Team Apex Gaming says hasta la vista, putting a little bit of a distance between themselves and Falcons. Pina, a sliver of health on him, but no finisher just yet. The Volvo tagging them up, and India do give away their positions, but will win. Perfect Thompson play.
भाई वोल्विन क्या ही तो खेल रहा है बे? भाई
But those glue walls played perfectly by India.
It kept him away. He wasn't able to follow. He cannot come in. And now the rest of TAG wants to go this fight. Here Racha is alone. Hiding in the corner. On fire's back in the game.
Falcon का शायद एक ही बंदा लाए थे. OP.
In the corner and taken down.
Oh.
Eliminated already here.
नहीं Falcon का अभी भी दो बंदे लाए थे. अभी भी दो बंदे लाए थे.
And Team Apex Gaming right back in.
क्या Apex Gaming Falcon को एलिमिनेट कर सकता है? ओ अबे वोल्विन डाउन.
And this is still trouble time. Team Apex Gaming, they've got the vending machine out here outside the circle. They need to clean up their act right here, right now. The eliminations are looking good, but Falcons are not going to get taken down that easy. Shoto with the flash.
OP. भाई क्या one tap मारा भाई. ओ भाई.
Love Shoto, how aggressive, how confident he was in taking up that space, knowing how exactly to play with the information and position he has.
भाई मस्त यार लिटरली मजा आ गया ये वाला पार्ट देख के.
We talked about them having a little bit of extra room to breathe, and with that extra bit of oxygen in their system, they are on fire. And Falcons now on the revival.
भाई Falcon का अच्छा
pockets, double revival, no problems at all. Falcons though.
हाँ यार भाई छोटो ने जो आज दिखाया ना, आज छोटो ने जो दिखाया है मजा आ गया.
Up against them, Falcons scanning out their area with the binoculars, a counter binocular used here potentially by either EWOS or Buriram. As the players on the side of DP slowly makes their way in, AGAL looking for that backstab, not intentionally, they're gonna find one, but they're not gonna second guess their movements at all. They want to take DP out of the equation here before they take away their defensive spot as well.
I am curious to see how exactly the rotation is going to come in for TAG. They're so far away from everyone else, but this late rotation could potentially benefit them. Letting everyone take this fight early. Venom quick to find Alu here as well. One knockdown. Top 16 also almost following suit here. And AGL knowing this, quick reposition forward, and DRS, Takuri now knocked down.
Oh, Gun Dynasty coming across DRS. Wrong timing here for the Rail Soldiers, but Pratik and Stroex turning things around. And 590 takes down our swap. And this is AGL interfering, perfect timing. And DRS in a little bit of a pickle. Stroex, can you get away? Even if you do, can you get enough coins to play recovery? All alone now for the side of the Rail Soldiers. And Gun Dynasty under the crosshairs of Team Loud. The recovery is going to be close to impossible here for Gun Dynasty. If they pull it off somehow without Benel, It is going to be a miraculous run for sure.
Just really waiting things out right now. Kiroro is here with Falcons. They have like a
भाई ऐसा लग रहा है पूरा टीम इधर प्रॉपर लाइन में है।
into that circle. You have to
भाई मैं डर गया था भाई, मुझे लगा टीएजी एलिमिनेट हो गया। एक सेकंड के लिए डर गया भाई। 12 एलिमिनेशंस, बढ़िया भाई, बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया।
A little bit of a slower pace and scanning out 4 players on the side of EVOS as well. Good binocular once again from the side of Falcons, but what can you do with that extra bit of information? You can't flank around too far off to the left and tank a lot of the damage, putting yourself out in the open.
EVOS के सामने ही Falcons है यार।
Are going to actually go in for a direct approach here, and clearly Abex.
टीएजी भी पानी के अंदर है फिलहाल।
Not worry at all about losing his bullets. He can spray, barely needing to pray. But Team Apex Gaming, I hope you've said your prayers already. You're coming close to one of the biggest dominators in the competition.
भाई BRU वर्सेस TAG है क्या?
So maybe that's
मुझे तो लगता है अबे हाँ BRU वर्सेस TAG दोनों का क्लैश होने वाला है।
Wasana looking for those names as well. And for the time being,
ये वसाना है शायद।
But Buriram not going anywhere. They want to take this fight and they're waiting for Team Apex Gaming to break down those glue walls so they can have an advantage.
And meanwhile, over on this side here, EVOS
Katie God!
The Falcons out of that circle. Pina finds an angle, puts the damage onto Aimgot, repositioned, but hard to do anything as EVOS collapses onto the members of the Falcons. On fire, barely alive. One member knocked down as well. Moving together to see the double swings are too much to deal with.
Yeah, that's what I said, man. Falcons can get all the information they want off of the binoculars, but they were just in a rough spot positionally. Could not flank around to the left. EVOS would have sniped them out of the waters instantaneously. Had to take a straightforward fight because of the damage of the circle, and EVOS just had the better position. The Rail Soldiers, on the other hand, there's nowhere else to go.
भाई टैग एलिमिनेट हो भाई यार। भाई शायद से बुरीराम था ना उनके पास।
AimGod looking for the reposition. Rasya tagged up already. Stroax single-handedly trying to take down as many players as possible from the side of EVOS, but the jig is up. The moment Gun Dynasty closes in on him, DRS might just be that extra point that Gun Dynasty needs.
Here comes Ray as well. Stroax taking a lot of damage already hanging in this corner. He's stuck here. Either you go down to the zone or you go out in the open and you crunch between two different teams. But he's not going to stop trying though. He spots Rasha, goes a bit too wide, and the rest of EVOS, they're just going to wait for him to come out in the open.
Yeah, he's got the mini launcher on his side. He can quickly reposition, but potential to be sniped out of the air is high here. Now the zone's going to catch up with him as well. He's probably not running the team boosters, and he's going to sustain a ton of damage off of that, but still playing it safe. One with Mother Nature, finding some cover right behind the tree. And this is so much the tree can do for you, buddy. The grenades
भाई BRU और मुशी, अरे BRU और मुशी क्या बोल रहा हो? BRU और AGL भाई साथ साथ थे। फैल्कन डाउन हो चुका है, फैल्कन एलिमिनेटेड। EVOS AGL loud Gun Dynasty। अबे Gun Dynasty और DRS खत्म। भाई मतलब एक 4 स्क्वाड बचे हैं सिर्फ और सिर्फ। अभी 4 स्क्वाड के बीच में मैच होगा अभी। लाउड का बस एक ही बंदा लाइव है।
The only thing separating them is just this wall. Cypher does take a bit of damage here, but if anything, eventually Dew will fall. It's going to be Apex with a great opening there.
Okay, a couple of grenades over the wall. Could be a big one, but Buriram calls for the bolt maker. Lightning zone now is going to be that pressure for both AGAL as well as EVOS Divine. Loud going to be hopping on into the battle as well, but Waka eliminated from the equation before he can even make a play. And a counter lightning zone called upon Buriram as well. Two teams with the bolt maker out there. EVOS Divine with a big brain play off of those monster trucks. Extra layer of defense here for them. You can blow it up, but you cannot touch them just yet.
Yeah, Nameless get knocked out here. Nasha goes for 2 even to the AGAL side. And now, Buriram United wants to go.
Oh my!
It's Rasha. That's EVOS.
Rasha क्या खेल रहा है?
Single elimination point. Now, the tension changes. Buriram United has to fight against EVOS Divine, and they're gonna try and collapse forward.
A familiar situation here. Southeast Asia takes over Purgatory. And EVOS Divine up against Buriram United Esports. Can they go for a back-to-back booyah? Or will Buriram ruin the party here for EVOS? Either way, EVOS will still stay at the top of the leaderboard. Looking at their consistency so far. Valiant Dash breaking down their own defenses, but Wasana doesn't pull away too much from that. Moshi with the M82B gets the knock. Ray still standing up close and personal up against Jonah, who gets the hop up off of the glue wall and finds Aim God right behind it. And Buriram looking for the finisher up against EVOS.
Yeah, Wasana just rushing for here. Rasha here all alone. The shots going a bit too high, but Mochi going here.
Oh! बढ़िया बढ़िया बिहारी विनर बन गया.
Amazing work, Jonah, movement god.
Never before the champion here at the Esports World Cup. Could this be the year for Buriram United Esports? We talked about how Russia was the super sniper on the side of EVOS. We saw the amazing plays from him, but we cannot forget the one and only Moshi, baby. I fell in love with the snipers because of this guy, and he is back. This is his meta. This is his time to shine once again, and he cleaned up the battlefield in the final sequence.
Honestly, every single one of these members for the teams, I think really stood out to me as well. But that final few picks coming from Moshi that's completely cleaned up house and turned the tides for this team. Personally, for me, I saw the pressure coming in toward EVOS Divide, and I thought they have high capabilities of turning around the tides.
Yeah.
But Buriram United, knowing this, did not give them that chance this time and completely decided to just completely collapse at the right timing.
Absolutely. Three-time world champs right there for a good reason. Mainly Jonah, who I think is the most decorated player on that stage as far as his career here in Free Fire Esports is concerned. And they are the ones who have everything on their side in terms of rotations, IQ plays, perhaps a couple of hiccups here and there, but nobody can take away the fact that they are definitely one of the favorites out here to cause a lot of trouble. But can they get all the way to the end? Because EWC hasn't really been very kind to the squad so far.
No, I completely agree with you. There are just so many times that I think the Southeast Asian talent that we always say, Buriram United is going to be the one at the very top. They always start off very hot, I believe.
Yeah.
But then after a while, you start to see them waver a little bit. I'm wondering how this year would change for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, towards the end, it was more of a hunting game. The players just looking for those shots. And Moshi, as the sniper of the squad, just not holding back at all, right? Just taking the fight straight up to them. The M82B got a little bit of a bump recently on the OB update, and these guys are not doubting it at all in terms of usage. Now, we've got a few commercials.
Break me, Shad.
Dash and I will be right back with you after the panel catches up with you guys.
Hello everyone, it's Yuso and we are live in Paris here in EWC 26 Free Fire stage. And right next to me we have our two popular Vietnam. Introduce to you Batao and Saare. Xin chào tất cả mọi người. Thì không biết là hiện tại là mình đang ngồi đây sân khấu tại Pháp thì mọi người đang cảm giác như thế nào vậy ạ?
Xin chào tất cả các bạn nha. Rất là hồi hộp các bạn, mà không khí ở đây gọi là tuyệt vời và chưa bao giờ mà thấy một cái sân khấu mà lớn như thế này các bạn ơi. Mình không biết là áp lực của các tuyển thủ sẽ như thế nào nữa.
Sau đó thì cảm thấy như thế nào ạ?
Dạ em có thấy rất là vui ạ.
Vui thôi hả?
Dạ.
Mình bay rất là lâu tới đây mà chỉ thấy vui thôi hả?
Em cũng trải nghiệm được nhiều rồi.
Trải nghiệm được nhiều. Alright, overall the stage is really hype, big. They have never seen any stage like this. Very special to them in this Free Fire scenes. And overall, a very overwhelming feelings, happy when they're here in Paris to attend EWC 26 Free Fire. Okay, so I can see in the comment section thì không biết là từ nãy đến giờ mọi người theo dõi được 2 trận đấu rồi. Thì không biết là cả Batao và cả Saare cảm thấy là các bạn khán giả của mình comment như thế nào vậy? Mọi người có hưng phấn và có đang chờ đợi màn trình diễn của team secret của mình không ạ?
Wow, rất nhiều người ở Việt Nam và rất nhiều người khán giả hâm mộ của series WEC đang trông chờ màn ra mắt của WEC, và rất nhiều khán giả đang coi ở tất cả kênh sóng của Garena DeFi Việt Nam đang rất bất ngờ bởi vì cái phong thái thi đấu của cái đội tuyển ở Latam hay là ở kể cả Mexico hoặc là Ấn Độ. Họ đánh giá thấp Brazil, nhưng năm nay Brazil trở lại khá là mạnh mẽ.
Cảm ơn các cháu ạ. Vậy thì Cyrus sẽ cảm thấy như thế nào về trong hai trận đấu vừa qua đi? Thì Cyrus đánh giá như thế nào? Bởi vì bảng A cũng sẽ là một cái bảng rất là căng thẳng so với bảng B của chúng ta.
Thì theo em thấy thì sau hai trận thi đấu thì em thấy cũng khá là khắc nghiệt. Nếu mà đội nào sẽ thi đấu mà gọi là xuống phong độ sẽ đội đó sẽ bị loại.
Chính xác là như vậy. So as we can see that of this coming tournament, here we have a lot of teams, Latam, India, and so many move on more. And very excited to see a huge circle of Free Fire all attending here to compete their best to get the champions at EWC 26. And overall, after 2 matches from Cyrus depends on him. Well, who got the weakness has go down, obviously. And of course, I can see that everyone is really hyped, especially for Team Secret, as known as WAG from Vietnam, are also here to attend EWC 26. We'll attend the match in the Group B after this Group A. And well, this is the end. And I love the energy of everyone here. Everyone looks so happy and very hyped for their favorite team. And I do hope you guys are also like that. Please continue to support your team.
Okay, तो हमारा मैच नंबर 4 मैच नंबर 4 ही है ना? हाँ, मैच नंबर 4 स्टार्ट होने वाला है.
Has finally showed up. They got that booyah, and this is what we're expecting out of the 3-time world champs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's champions against champions right now. One taking the global finals, one taking the EWC. So you would expect really fire gameplay out of that final game, out of the final match, final circle. AJL though, I mean, I think like we just looked away, and then the moment that we look back, they were out. So the final 2 teams, the 4v4, it was just phenomenal. But I'm also looking forward to how Lao is going to recover right now, because I think they were pushed down a little bit too hard this time. And Rim United, after getting that booyah, they just catapulted themselves up.
Do you think they're going to be, especially for Loud, right? Do you think this is the next game? It's time for them to bounce back because
ओ भाई बढ़िया भाई टीम एवरेज गेमिंग 4 नंबर पे आ गया. बढ़िया भाई 12 से 4 नंबर भाई. काफी अच्छा गया टीम एवरेज, काफी अच्छा.
Just an easier ticket to stage 3, then that's what they need right now compared to their Southeast Asia, right? And they always go for the longer route, the longer days, like even not skipping a day because they're there at the bottom going into elimination before the grand finals, before point rush. So I'm loving this version of Evo's Divine right now. Probably it's because of the crowd giving them more energy.
True, and this is the halfway point as well for Group A on day 1 of Free Fire at Esports World Cup 26. Now, out of all the squads, right, we're hyping up the squads that are doing good. Let's talk about some of the other squads that needed to improve on that 3rd game. And one of them that ended up improving, at least for my liking, had to be Tag. Boy, this squad was finally able to start putting up some eliminations on the board, and this is what we're expecting them. I know Lucifer in the back is expecting even more out of them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were just talking about that earlier before the game started, and then we saw them perform. So it's a good thing as well that it only took them a couple of games before for their warm-up, before they really bring it on. Because being at the bottom 2 or almost the bottom 2, that's not a place that you want to be, even if you still have another day to play. So you don't want to risk it. At least bring yourself halfway to what is intended, and then that's when you play. If you don't like, that's when you gauge. If you really don't want to show that much performance, just go in there in the skirts of what is needed to get the next stage.
Yeah, and the good thing too, like going in regards to Evos, in regards to Buram United now that are starting to get all these points, right? One thing that is going good for this squad, yeah, they're performing well, they're being consistent, but they're just sponging up all those points at the top. And don't forget, once we finish tomorrow from Group A, the top 4 will be going to Champion Rush Finals. And the last 2 will be going home, and in between they'll be going to survival. But that sponge of points there from the top is kind of just making everything even tighter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's difficult for them to really catch up. Like because of the huge lead that you have right there, it's making it like hard for the teams to really catch up, and it's also demeaning at some point. Like you will see your team at the bottom trying and struggling that much to bring in the numbers, and then you see the top wherein you, even if you still have one day, but everyone is competitive at this point. You want to get closer and closer to where you're intended to be, to skip one day and just watch everyone play.
Yeah, and from this map that we just saw, Purgatory, remember, this is one that you were looking to see some crazy stuff. I gotta ask you, were you happy with what we saw there out of Purgatory, or do you want to see more madness?
Well, definitely more madness, more chaos with a K. Because Purgatory, like, I'm not giving that most of the opportunity for a skewed flight path, the like ruining for final circle. But at least the teams are treating it as if it's a skewed flight path. The early engagement that's happening, a lot of teams trying to go in and out for battle, and that's what makes it exciting, because they're just playing it with the spirit of the map itself.
Yeah, and now going to the last 3 games here of Group A, right? Earlier we were talking about tag. We wanted to see them being able to step up. I know we have a
Start
team
होने वाला है, guys.
as well that, I mean, we want them to see step it up because they just have such a passionate fan base back at home. I want you to tell me a team that you're going to be looking at, especially this next 3 matches, to either continue to be consistent the way they have been, or that you might see some fluctuation on their performances.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see Paradox Gaming. Currently, they're at the bottom of the leaderboard right now, but at some point, we've seen the aggression as well from their regional. So it's something that they can bring to the table a little bit early this time instead of waiting for the second day. And also, some of the consistency that we've seen from DRS Gaming, because the Real Soldiers Gaming is one of those that we didn't expect really show up the first time in EWC, first time in global in terms of a Free Fire competitive scene, and they're really doing well. I don't know if this is the full extent of their performance, or they're just still biding and waiting for the opportunity to bring the fire on.
I mean, they just got to put themselves in that position where they can actually just claw at that booyah like Burram United Esports was able to do on that last one. Wasana was one of the players that I know Conchita really wanted to see them being able to step up in their performance and actually perform for their squad. Is there any player or any 2 players that in the next 3 matches you're going to be keeping a close eye on because you want them to impact the game in a positive way for their team?
Yeah, one thing I'm really looking at, especially if Wasana is involved, you have Get High in there. Get High with a combination of Wasana will be really aggressive on their tip-top shape. And also Moshi in there, like staying in the back lines. Depending on the map though, if we go into a map wherein it's like favoring the snipers, we might see Moshi and Jonah pull away, try double sniper, or just get information in the early parts of the game, and then just leave the opportunity for Wasana as well as Get High to go for those elimination. And one signature that I keep seeing from Garena United is once they get that knock, they pull out the launch pad and jump straight into the battle.
We have a lot of viewers that might be watching Free Fire for their first time. If you are one of those viewers, please let us know on social media. Use that hashtag EWC. Use that hashtag EWC26. I want you to explain to the new viewers that are watching Free Fire for the first time about that launch pad, because I absolutely love it, as we're just being absolutely sidetracked here by a dancing... Is that a dancing bull or a dancing cow?
Dancing bull. And I love the energy.
Yes.
I really love the energy on the stage right now. And
is that Fluxo? I can't tell.
Yeah, it is. It is,
right? I'm like, I have glasses on and I can't tell if it's like, you guys playing like three more games, okay? Your group is gonna be coming up. Hopefully you guys brought the drums, you brought that Brazilian energy, because we've seen it so far with Loud, but I know once we go into Group B, we wanna see Fluxo bring it.
Oh yeah, I mean, great potential for the team right now. And a great revenge storyline coming from them, because from what we've said, from what we've seen as well, there's a lot of disappointing run, and it was caused by these couple of champions that we have in front of us right now. So I love to see. It's a good thing as well that they're in a different group, because they won't have to beat them on the get-go.
they're just waiting to see each other on the finals or survival, which honestly, if you're Evos, if you're Burim, it's not going to be looking like you're going to be going to survival. If they keep playing like this, consistency, you might as well just put it in their middle name because these squads have been very consistent. But I think it's time we start the second half of Group A. Let's send it over to AJ Tash Bunny.
Honestly, insane seeing what's going on ground. We have so many people here. We have mascots on the ground as well. And we're already halfway through the first group.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm very sure that the fans out there are excited to see their teams perform out here on the battles. But it is definitely a big question mark for some of the squads, right? You look at Paradox Gaming, you look at how they're doing out there so far. I feel like the gunfights in Purgatory were so much better, but they're still having their first day jitters full on. I want to see a little bit of an improvement as we head on into this game number 4.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about, you know, you have how much space to really just warm up that engine, get yourself into the groove of the game. But as we go into the day, yes, 2 days, but already for Group A, we're halfway through. 3 more maps to go before they go on a break for the rest of the day and then come back tomorrow. But then again, playing catch-up against these teams is not going to be easy.
Locally, for Paradox, this is one of their better maps. So this could just be exactly what turns their fate around here on day 1. You don't really want to be depending on
Okay, guys.
find that recovery
तो हमारा मैच चालू हो चुका है. अब देखते हैं इस बार क्या होता है. Let's go.
If that is where you're gonna end the day on. But as we head on into game number 4, it's time for some Next Terra.
Next Terra is interesting. There's just so many different bits and bobs parts of this maps. Oh, how he's gonna go. And on top of that as well, we are still seeing.
यार मुझे ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है कि BRE और TG के बीच में फिर से clash होने वाला है.
Toward the Deca square with another team. I'm not too sure. I can't really see who exactly is that. I believe it's DRS.
Russia leading the leaderboard right now with elimination. 16 points personally delivered by the super sniper, the Wonder Kid. Still the Wonder Kid. And I think nobody else is going to be taking away the title from him. No one else has shown the kind of determination, the kind of hunger, as well as the performance that Russia has shown us ever since he stepped onto a stage like this. But Loud, once again, looking to do exactly that as they play a little bit of Clash Squad up against Falcons.
There's a lot of things going on over there as well. You see On Fire reposition himself a little bit more further forward.
But DRS का तो बहुत गंदा हालत हो गया रे. करने के साथ-साथ 3 बंदे खत्म.
His teammates aren't super close as well. So if anything, he's just buying a bit of time. But his teammates, I think, shouldn't be a problem to bring him back into the game if he does go down fairly early. But if anything, the best case scenario for Falcons, well, you steal away 1 more kill before you get knocked down here. But BCP is tracking him right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess it's not a full-on Clash Squad battle because Falcons, both of them out of this rush down area. The rotations are coming on through, and it looks like Loud wants that big flank to find the extra point off of the Falcon player. We'll catch up with them later on as Buriram spots out Demon's Pride, top 16, about to be tagged up. Jonah has got the M24 in hand, just no angles to work off of it just yet. Gun Dynasty, on the other hand, with a very early reset, at least pulling back 1 player back in here, and with a phenomenal flank On Fire, finally taken out of position there. AGAL, 1 player down on the ground. The battle between them and Gun Dynasty does not end well here for Gun Dynasty. The recovery definitely needed once again, and Benel is on the case.
Yeah, in this situation here in AGL, they've always been so proactive with these early fights as well. Already 5 eliminations here. Saifa once more. Rahat is on the other end waiting as TEC already in such a precarious position, but his teammates able to be brought back into the game, but Nejat goes down to PDX.
Oh, Team Apex Gaming. Extra point for them, baby, if they can pick this up. Thrill of Battle popped perfectly, and a timely Thrill of Battle leads to Wolven picking up that extra point. But here comes Demon's Pride. They want the fight. They take this jump straight to the vending machine. Instant revival, but Madara sacrifices himself for that pick. Jazzy comes in for the save, picking up his buddy. No extra revivals needed.
भाई वुल्की में सामने 2 बंदे.
Team Apex Gaming didn't finish those players off just yet. Catch a quick replay here in the middle of a very important battle for Team Apex Gaming. But it looks like they'll call for a little bit of a truce for the time being.
Yeah, just now, I think a lot of things are going on in that situation. I think they got cornered, if you ask me. Now, as we look at the main fight that's currently going here, TAG is still chasing the heck out of DP.
बढ़िया उलमिन बढ़िया.
He's already knocked down as well. And I have to say, TAG doing a great job just cornering their prey, making sure that
VRU का कोई वसान आ रहा है क्या वो?
Almost got a little bit messy there.
हाँ वो वसान नहीं था शायद.
Recovery was going to be important. And
VRU मोशी उतरा.
Team Apex Gaming finds for themselves. Buriram, they saw players step into the compound of the Indian squad just moments ago. And as I say that,
But DP का हालत बहुत खराब है.
Get IXL is there though, and it looks like Buriram's taking a full-on fight up against the Indian squad. Team Apex Gaming might be in a little bit of a trouble here. Katie God brings Wolvin right back in off screen, and Loud spotting out Gun Dynasty, who is looking for the recovery in this game. I don't know if or not they're ready for the battle. One player from the side of TEC is going to be stuck in this compound as well. It's going to get messy for them if they can't find the recovery for themselves.
UAV is out as well. Should give away the position. Waka tried to get that. I think tried to just jump and see if he can get some info, but he got tagged. If anything in this situation here, Kutush might be in trouble next. And I have to say, Benel doing a great job of marking every single enemy around the area. Nothing gets away from this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. They play the Moko really well. And he had the M82B and the SKS as well. Great attention from that long range and the advantage taken. And Katie God keeping the Indian squad still in the game with the double revive. Buriram trickled in one after the other, finding Team Apex Gaming. But the Indian squad could not take these giants out. Three-time world champs for a good reason.
सच में यार बहुत गंदा भाई बहुत तगड़ा खेलते हैं भाई. बुरीराम बहुत तगड़ा खेलता है. ये केडी गॉड कहाँ है?
The map is right now. Loud's getting a good pickoffs as well. I'm sure DRS as well. While everything has been going on here in this situation, I think.
अरे 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 भाई. भाई यार.
Ran straight in.
भाई कुछ भी खेलो यार. वसाना है कैसा मतलब वसाना बोल रहा हूँ. PRU एक ऐसा टीम है ना. Almost कोई भी उसके सामने टिक ही नहीं सकता.
Oh! Nextera's just not their place. Limit will find one from afar. David 444 found as well. The players of Gun Dynasty flanked all around, and it's the Falcon swooping on in. The birds of prey looking for a meal, and Gun Dynasty is just that fill.
Yeah, and Shairu is stuck outside the zone as well. What are you gonna do here? You have to find a different way into the area. And Falcons wants.
भाई इस वाले मैच में सभी टीम्स काफी तगड़ा खेल रहा है. काफी अच्छा खेल रहा है सभी टीम्स.
Are playing with a vengeance. Now in this situation here, GD looking good with 6 points already. Shairu still managing to stay alive.
और TAG तो यार पिछले जो मैंने पहले के 2 मैचेस देखे थे, उन 2 मैचेस से तो यार काफी अच्छा खेल रहा है. काफी अच्छा.
Right now they're looking, I think, fairly alive. If anything, throughout the entirety of this day, EVOS has been doing well in terms of positioning, in terms of looking for pickoffs, in terms of looking for fights as well.
यार TAG और PDX के बीच में क्लैश होने वाला है शायद.
Of course, Nextera has always given us a lot of eliminations thanks to the number of vending machines, compounds that you can use for cover, not having to use up all of your glue walls too early in the matchup. And we're going to see quite a number of survivors again. As I say that, the Rail Soldiers pulling in a double revive. Yet again, extra coins. Takuri making sure he brings back the 2 revives first. So great strategy played by him before he got caught out there. Unfortunate that he could not go in for that final revive. So 2 players down for the side of DRS once again.
AGL is really scary. If you think you managed to shake them off, there's just really a false sense of security before finally being taken out. He's done his due diligence though. He brought his teammates back into the game, and I think bringing them back into the game poses a big threat to so many of these teams. Now, in this particular area where the Falcons was, you could see just now they were really looking for Jazzy. He's still very much alive, but they have to be very, very aware that Loud is close by somewhere in the wing. So this could potentially be a 2-way fight. Is looking really good.
Demon's Pride eliminated.
For Demon's Pride. Their Pride definitely taking a hit here on day 1. Still down at the very bottom of our leaderboard.
Gun Dynasty ने एक बंदे को अच्छा लिया.
444 down on the ground. Instant pickup there, and the recovery is solid for Gun Dynasty. But they have been challenged all throughout this lobby. The only luck they have now is they're dealing with DRS, and they've got the numbers advantage in this battle as well.
Really trying to find this bounty as well as really settle it down as well as Alu tries to put a little bit of space away from GD. If he's able to maybe isolate this fight, buy a bit of time, so Stroix will be able to give him a bit of, I would think, support. That'll be really good. Now, the Falcons finally ran toe-to-toe against Loud. BZP forced to move away here as the Falcons finally rally back. They have a nice high ground to play with. Over on the other side here, gonna cook up that nade, throw it forward, but I'm gonna think it's gonna be going a little bit too wide as BZP is just so quick on that reposition.
Yeah, that was a blind nade there. No Moko for the advantage. Good time turner for BZP. Has got the double barrel, but the Valiant dash is bursting through him. Extra bit of confidence off of the electrical therapy that Cassie provided them. Limit those straight down to the ground. Recovery is not going to be impossible here, but they're going up against one of the best Brazilian squads. Loud can shut them down, and that's exactly what Nix does. M10-14 perfection. On fire taken down.
Falcon का दो बंदे down.
Loud making a lot of noise, but Peanuts there for
Hey.
the save. But the pickups have to be the
TC
focus
Titan
here.
Esports eliminated.
Falcons surviving this one. Guaca too far away to back up the rest of his brothers, and Falcons will survive because of that.
I am loving the fact that Falcons really doubled down on this, and then Dedrick as well, just stuck in the corner, trying his best to survive. But Buriram United, they're saying no. So as much as you want to survive, it's not going to happen. We will dig you out of that hole if we have to. Gets one more point to their name, and now they're going to go and find a different way into the area. This mid-side area in terms of rotations here, southern side, EVOS has control of this area. Toward the western side, you have PDX is sort of moving around the area. Northern side,
बहुत दूर है यार उस से.
have, I think, GD and AGL forward, and TAG just busting forward, looking for this fight eagerly.
Just with that game 3, Buriram has jumped into the top 3 already. Now you see the Moko tagging up the players on the side of Team Apex Gaming. This is a little bit of a pinch. AGL focus fire. But Team Apex Gaming very smartly repositioning.
भाई TAG काफी अच्छा खेल रहा है, काफी अच्छा खेल रहा है TAG.
Both AGL as well as Gun Dynasty. A sticky situation here for the Indian squad for sure.
But they're not really showing their hand either. They're just really hoping to weather down that storm. Because no team can really get too close to one another for this forward fight. Pina, somewhere along the lines there, does find Stroix eventually. Alu running forward. They're almost taken down on fire, but regardless of that, would have been traded. So now the Blue Zone comes through here. Kiroro should be brought back into the game, as Loud is slowly trying to recalibrate themselves.
Recalibrate indeed. The double revive coming on through. Full squad once again for the Brazilian squad. Loud. Have been loud from the start. Very consistent to keep themselves in the top 4. But they have to make sure they play a little bit of recovery here. And Nix is going to have his foot shot off. A-backs with a sharp shot from afar. AC-80 perfection once again. And yet again, the Brazilian squad on the back foot. This is just not their lobby. Recovery seems to be really difficult. And that's exactly what Nextera is. Lots of spots to hide away at. And we have got a ton of squads. So many players still alive and kicking as we approach the 12 minutes.
Yeah, Alu is not going to be able to hit the ground there. Gonna just get knocked down so quickly. His teammate did try to give a bit of pressure there onto Buriram United. Not happening though. You know, like you mentioned, Moshi just so superb on the snipers.
Oh yeah. Buriram showing that, yes, we were ramping it up slow, but nothing impossible for us to catch up with. Russia though, right below the bridge like a troll, up against Falcons, but gonna get caught all alone here. On fire, making the rotation. Russia, can you survive this one? What kind of trickery will you show us? It's Gun Dynasty that takes advantage of that chaos! And the follow-up is solid. EVOS with the revenge. The players on the side of Paradox taking advantage of this situation as well. Then Reek is going to get picked right back up. And Falcons off of that rotation put themselves under the bridge, losing 2 players in that sequence.
In this situation, EVOS as well, trying to take away this positioning coming in from Aurora, but cannot able to come close to them at all. And EVOS is very, very patient here, trying to find an opening, an angle, anything, but also aware that Loud is close by. One moment your head is out there in the open, it's going to be instantly popped, and that's how it is for both of these teams here. And it's sort of a momentary stalemate between these 3 teams. You have to worry about PDX as well. You also see that they're trying to rush away from the area as On Fire tries to put in the damage.
See if not On Fire can get this catch up here, quickly repositioning right under the robo. And it gives them a little bit of cover for the time being. The launch pad, I think they were looking for a little bit of a higher angle as DRS Gaming gets taken out of the equation, locked down by the thrill of battle, and Falcons needs to quickly reposition. They do not want to get stuck in a fight without their active skills. Riptide Rhythm from afar, EVOS will play some shots, but it's Aurora that takes the advantage with that shot. The Malaysian squad slowly sneaking their way back in here. Locked down once again by the thrill of battle. Potentially out of the Brazilian squad this time round. Grenade. What a tight angle. Played perfectly there.
भाई क्या नेड मारा भाई?
Up against EVOS. That's going to be the appointment that they
भाई
have to
एक बिल्डिंग में 3 स्क्वाड.
This is insane high stakes fights as well. Just fighting for this real estate property. Saifa gets knocked down somewhere in the corner here as EVOS still saves their lives by just hunkering down in a corner and waiting out the initial onslaught. You see Trap barely alive already, taking out so much damage. Gets a top up here, trying to break into the building.
भाई टैग TAG eliminate हो गया. वैसे zone damage से eliminate हुआ.
Eliminated here. Loud waiting patiently on the outer side here. Like it or not, EVOS and Aurora are gonna have to vacate the premises. Now the glue wall's been, I think, destroyed. They're coming into the area. EVOS forced to move back as well.
A smart reposition here by Loud. They put a great distance between themselves and the chaos that they almost encountered between EVOS and Aurora. Now leaving the battle between the Malaysian and the Indonesian squad. And the shots from afar, AGL putting the pressure on to both Aurora and EVOS. Riptide Rhythm breaking down the defenses. Azrael sneaky. But he saw the Riptide Rhythm and quickly stepped away from the window. Ray, on the other hand, not doing that. AGL getting a couple of tags in. Ingot, the Moko tagging him up already. And it looks like he will sneak away. Ray, on the other hand, will not get the pleasure of doing so. Axel's gonna get caught out. Riptide Rhythm again putting on so much of pressure, taking advantage of this tight little compound. And Aurora again will get snuffed out early.
You is doing great, just really catching people in the mid of the rotations as well. Now EVOS only aim god is alive, gonna hunker down the corner as Loud is gonna work their magic onto GD. Aim god rushing through, but for the other side there's gonna be a massive Nyx and Trap doing a lot of magic, but GD pressuring them, and AGAL also wants to join in on that fight. GD rushing forward, and now right in the nick of time, you have AGAL finding the last possible member from EVOS, not able to survive, so aim god down and out.
Yeah, that's it for EVOS. AGL spotted them out and they were just tracking them all the way through. And now Gun Dynasty trying to take on the Brazilians, but the interference from the Thai squad. AGL long range away and almost no cover at all except their glue walls. This is going to be trouble if a Skylar is in the hands of either Gun Dynasty or Loud. And they'll quickly take some cover behind the boulder as well as these trees. Great rotation, great defense from the Thai squad.
AGL being very patient here, stuck behind a rock, but definitely not a hard place yet. But now as GD wants to take away this real estate from Loud, cannot do so. Only 6 damage is done. Nice damage onto Trap, but no more than that.
Beautifully played here by Latam. Understanding the angles perfectly. Trying to make use of the utilities instead of taking a straightforward fight up against Loud, who do have the positional advantage in that sequence. Shiru though, caught in hand, looking for the flank, trying to play a little bit of pressure on AGAL to take AGL out of the equation here before they have to deal with Brazil. And AGL understands the little bit of a pinch that they are in, trying to close the distance down to take the positional advantage away from GD as the circle forces them closer in.
Shiro is just trying to really just come into the area, can go for this backstab. AGL does try to collapse forward, but the amount of pressure that Loud is putting on them is incredible. The glue walls are just immediately destroyed. GD cannot come close and come into the compound at all. Dew falls, David, good one onto him as well. And Shiro, his position finally seen, forced to move back here. David
कौन जीत सकता है इसमें?
to AGL, a quick reposition forward, and they are going to collapse. AGL cannot move forward.
What a beautiful rotation, man. That's perfection out of Thailand, perfection out of AGAL. But now, how do you deal with this chaos? Gun Dynasty have been pushed outside. They are at a disadvantage at this point of time. But when the circle starts closing on in, it's going to be trouble. Where will the zone move? Who does it favor? And Trap, what a nade. David taken out, but the time turner is active on their side. They didn't waste it earlier on, and that allows them to pick up their rusher instantly.
And it's really good.
One more.
Cycling! Nice shot and a knockdown coming in from Saifa's skill. Great work coming through here. Loud still has the upper hand advantage in terms of positioning. AGL, HP chunking down. The damage comes through, and Loud, all they have to do is just rush forward, and they're completely surrounded from
ओ
every
भाई
single
लाउड
and Loud once
जीत
again.
चुका है
Second booyah of the day for Brazil. And they are not messing around. Got pushed down a tad bit. The performance at Purgatory, not the best. At Salara, it was decent. But this is going to get them right back in contention for the #1 spot for sure. AGL definitely going to be in the race for the top 3 here after a back-to-back performance. We saw them pick up a massive number of eliminations off of Purgatory, and they have gotten in towards that final circle here at Nextera with the exact same performance. Great play, I have to say, from both teams.
You know what's really
भाई
impressive
क्या
about
ही तो
AGL?
खेले यार क्या ही तो खेला लाउड ने
They're all around the map. We come to them finally after
Yeah.
seeing those initial fights. Something like, what? They already have 6 eliminations? Silent but deadly, but definitely loud toward the end as well. It felt like a bait and switch because GD was the one that had a compound, I would say, advantage in the beginning.
Yeah, and this was where it all came crumbling down for AGL. They went in, they took the house as their defensive compound. What they were not expecting was the play out of Gun Dynasty. And the play out of Gun Dynasty wouldn't have been forced if it wasn't for Loud. Loud started tossing those grenades at them. Gun Dynasty had to make a decision, and the only decision they could make was take the fight up against AGL. And they played that perfectly, rushing straight at them. And again, I've always mentioned how David 444 is one of the most lethal rushes out there. And he took the fight straight up against them with the Meg 7, demanding a lot of points in that house, and he got it for their side. But towards the end, it just wasn't enough. AGL stood their ground really well with the defense, but they had to lose 2 players in that sequence as well, and Loud with the advantage just walked away with it towards the end. It's not always about the most aggressive. Sometimes it's about who understands the final circle better.
Yeah, you have the eliminations. You have to find that I would say, balance, right?
Yeah.
Between getting to that last few points with those placements, plus also getting those eliminations as well. And AGL has, I would say, AGL, Loud, Buriram United have really good, I would say, grasp on being able to do all of this coming into the game. I think what's really fun to see as well is just the fact that for AGL, they know how to do the bait and switch. They know how to go for zone control. But I have to say that for Loud just now, they were just doubling down on that real estate. They know that they had the height advantage. They know that they can just really kind of keep out GD from their area and force GD and AGL to go for that fight, and all they have to do is just clean up house.
Yeah, and it's been very impressive to see this Brazilian squad so far, because yes, it wasn't a very aggressive Purgatory game, but if you look at their positioning placement in all 4 games so far has been phenomenal. We're going to take a quick short break now. When we come back, the final 2 games of the day.
भाई साहब भाई सब भाई लाउड में क्या ही तो खेला यार वो मैच, बहुत तगड़ा खेला।
Break out the drums because Brazil is
हमारा नेक्स्ट मैच कब है?
2 booyahs today.
एक बार चेक कर लेते हैं कि नेक्स्ट मैच कितने बजे आएगा।
Gosh, Neptune, this squad is consistent as
चलो।
heck.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, imagine 2 booyahs and 3 times on the top 3 out of 4 games. And this is just something that we
अच्छा
don't
बस आने ही वाला है,
especially
नेक्स्ट
day
मैच बस
1
आने ही वाला है।
Most of the time in this level of competition, there's a lot of stealing of those booyahs. There's a lot of stealing of those numbers as well in terms of elimination. So Loud is just doing quite well in positioning themselves and making sure that they are not out there being gunned down.
Yeah, and of course, Loud is so much better tactically when we compare to the other teams. They have the patience, they have the drive. Again, it's something so refreshing to see. But then again, it's a Brazil team. Are we even that surprised?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Brazil has been one of that contender that has been a bane when it comes to like a battle of Southeast Asia and Brazil and also other regions being introduced. And with the more regions in here being put in the mix, like they have that elements of surprise because the focus would be on the newcomers and they will be most of the target. And we were seeing that bottom leaderboard.
Yeah, we definitely were. I mean, I was gonna be looking at the match.
भाई टीम एवेंट से भी 6 नंबर पे आ गया, 4 नंबर पे था ना यार ये, कैसे 4 नंबर पे था।
27 points, 18 elimination points, and I gotta hand it down to Do and Saifa. They're doing so well. This is exactly the teamwork that I actually wanted to see from EFOS Divine, because as an Indonesian, of course, I do hope that they can learn from the best. And honestly, I think that game, it really showcased the ability of Do and the capability that he has to lead the team towards victory.
Honestly, I thought AGAL was going to take the booyah in that last match. Their positioning in the bottom of building, I thought, oh, surely they have this. Surely they've got this. But no, of course, you know, Loud's just sitting on top, and the way that they were they're able to accelerate and take more of positioning in the zone, it was exceptional. And I know, Neptune, you got something to say about that, don't you? Like, yeah, let's get loud.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's more of what they can do in terms of the number. Again, getting a booyah will add up for your total points, but elimination is at some point at this stage of the competition is even more important because you have to bring that much to pull yourself at the top of the leaderboard, and booyah is something that is reserved for the team, especially with the champion rush condition towards the grand finals.
And I think looking at the overall standing, something that I'm really aware is that it is so scary for EFOS Divine in the very beginning of the competition. I mean, we started off really shaky, but looking at it now, we have 84 points and then 50 kills. That is not bad at all, even though we only have 1 booyah secured right now. I think what I said at the beginning of the show might come true. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to keep repeating it, but I do think there's a huge chance for EFOS Divine to maintain this position and actually be, I don't know, the next one to go to the next stage.
And the one thing that we were talking about earlier is that sponge between those teams towards the top, and it's starting to get even more and more. Once we see the overall, you get a chance to see exactly what I'm talking about in regards to those teams at the top, just making an even bigger gap to some of the other squads. Now, one thing I know has been sticking out besides the top squads, right? We got to go to PDX. I mean, I was talking about earlier in regards to Tag. That's a squad that needed to be able to step it up. They have since then, since we've mentioned them. I know you were looking at PDX, Lace.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at Paradox, and look, they're not sitting pretty on the top of the leaderboard, okay? You know, we're talking about the Louds and the AGLs. I feel like there's 2 games going on at the moment. We've got like the AGLs, the Louds, EVOS, you know, kind of having their own scuffles in the top of the leaderboard. And when you move further down, the Tags, we got Paradox down there. I know Paradox had an accelerating run against Tag, but unfortunately fell like a little bit short in that match there. And it just seems like they're just not making the best decisions for their team. They managed to sort of get split. But where we were looking more into that final zone, Paradox, it was probably the first time I actually saw them group up and were able to put more eliminations on the board, and that's what we need to see from them. So I don't really know what's happening like in and amongst the early fights and stuff for them, but that was probably the best performance we have seen from them. But they are, you know, not being able to get those eliminations and those placement points on the board.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, the first few games, they're not that aggressive, and the signature of Paradox Gaming is that the signature of Paradox Gaming coming from their regionals is that aggressive team, like from Africa Africa. They managed to clutch it towards the end and getting that that qualifier on the EWC, and it's more of the elimination. So this is one thing that we were expecting at get-go. There's a lot of teams who want to show up strong, especially if they are new to this contention. But for Paradox Gaming, they need that time to recover. But what I'm worried about is if that time is running out, because again, that's already 4 games and you only have 2 more for this group.
Yeah, and speaking of trying to come off as strong, courageous, again, I think feel we.
Thanks, girl.
Then we gotta add gorgeous, then, girl, because you are drop dead gorgeous. Okay, anyways, speaking of courage, of course, we have to also talk about Gun Dynasty again, because finishing at top 3, it's just so amazing. It's making me feel like I need to know more about this LATAM team. I mean, that is just crazy. They are now at the 5th position of the overall standing. 69 points, 23 plays, and then I'm seeing 46 kills. That is amazingly huge for them, Neptune.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, from the first and the last game, they managed to get 20 plus on elimination. It was a little bit slow, though, on that second game, and towards that third. I think it's because of the challenge they have on that game number 2, or the match number 2, thus they didn't get that much on the point. But I'm really looking forward to them to catapult themselves a little bit higher in this point right now, because they're very close against Garena United.
Yes, I'm about to say something that I might regret, but right now, I actually enjoy watching Gun Dynasty more than Buriram United Esports.
Oh.
I enjoy them so much. It's crazy. Like, I found a new love today.
What's making you enjoy it so much? Because remember, Buriram, even though you didn't get a chance to talk about them earlier, they did end up picking up that one booyah.
Yes, they did, but I think it's just about time for Gun Dynasty. I mean, you saw it on the 4th game. They were so amazing. And again, the courage that they have and the strength to back it up, it's just so amazing to see.
Yeah, I guess the difference between the gameplay of Gun Dynasty is in the beginning of the game, they show up. That's where more the hype is coming from. And compared to what we've seen in Garena United Esports, the signature is you're invisible in the first half, then to the second half, that's where you get all those eliminations. But at some point, they're surprised. I'm pretty sure they're counting how many opponents do they have in front of them towards the end. And with 7 or 8 teams against you, you couldn't, or Garena United couldn't really bring that fire and catch up with the numbers, but it's a good thing that they did get that booyah.
Yeah, and right now we're looking at this squads that they need to wake up, especially when we're going to be going into the final 2 games of Group A. Keep in mind, for everybody watching at home, you're saying, wait, final 2 games? No, we still got 6 more from Group B coming up, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But I mean, from some of the other squads that we're watching, we saw the Pakistan team, right? They're towards the bottom. They need to do something, because right now, the top 4 squads, the cutoff is at 70 points, and that's not going to stop. That's just going to keep going because of the consistency, Conchita, that we're currently seeing out of their squads. What can we see out of those bottom squads in the last 2 matches? Because they need to wake up.
Yes, they do need to wake up. Unfortunately, I'm not really familiar with the way the Pakistani teams play, but what I see from their performance today is that there's a gap of, capability that apparently they still have against the other team. And that is something that I hope they can catch up as soon as possible, because obviously being on the bottom 2 is not so ideal. Looking at it, it's still quite a climb that they need to do. But yeah, keeping my fingers crossed.
And then you have Aurora. Aurora is currently 40 points. I'm sorry I have to do it to you.
I won't mention their name anymore.
You can talk about them, but just don't mention their name. From that squad, I mean, you were talking about having eliminations earlier on. They only have 19 eliminations so far. We've seen squads being able to get almost that in just 1 match.
I think what Aurora game is finding right now is a balance of, because they failed in the first game. Yeah, I mean,
it's okay.
I'm thinking it's my fault, but they failed in the first few games. But since they couldn't bring the elimination, they couldn't bring the fire, so they're going back to the basic. Go for survivability, trying to balance it out, elimination and placement point. And that's why they're trying something different. Just go and try to catch up, or go for catch up on the placement point. Once they get the groove of how to find the final circle, then they can get those elimination.
Yeah, what I've been noticing is that every time they go into an altercation or try to take a fight, they come out as the losing team. It's down to 1 player, then they're going to have to make take that revive and try and do that. So I do believe that, yeah, if they can continue that survivability, because eliminations will come in the end, okay? As long as you can make your rotation, you get to that final zone, the elims will come. So hopefully we can see that sort of progress into the next games, because they slightly started doing it in that final match, but the first couple of matches, every time I saw Aurora fight, it was them out, and it's not working for them. So they definitely need to adapt and change, because mechanically they're gifted, but they're not making these decisions correctly.
Yeah, I so agree, because individually they're great players, but somehow when it comes to the teamwork, something just isn't working. There is something that they not to change. I mean, it's like someone needs to step up, I guess, and be the role model for them. Yeah. No.
I might step out.
I'm sorry, man. I'm going to target you for this one. Yeah.
No need to do that. I mean, in regards to eliminations, one squad that has been stepping up is Team Apex Gaming. They have been able to put up those elims. At the beginning of the day, they were struggling a lot. Even Lucifer, one of our casters, is going to be coming for Group B. He was saying they're slow starters. He was actually expecting them to do better in the second day. Yeah. But you can't be mad. Honestly, Neptune, you cannot be mad at the way that this squad has now been able to put up those eliminations.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's more of elimination geared for Team Apex Gaming.
It's the complete opposite, right?
Complete opposite of what we're going for earlier. Like placement point, they like no regards of placement point. All they have to do is early on the get-go, they want to get all those eliminations in, and at some point for teams, they're treating it as a 50-50. Like it's a double-edged sword. But for Team Apex Gaming, they want to bring down the sword against the opponent. Whether they lose, I think they can carry over those eliminations in the following round. The risk is they're losing the balance of finding the final circle. And again, there's still importance of that booyah. Probably not this point of the stage, but if you're really catching up in numbers, you have to do well on both.
Yeah, because 29 elimination points is not bad at all. I mean, from what we see out of the 4th games that we have just watched, Apex really is trying to fix the mistake they have on the first game. And yeah, I think things are quite looking up for them right now.
You can see they got fans right now here in the arena live from Paris. This is Free Fire at EWC. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going into the last 2 matches of Group A. Can those bottom squads step it up like we've been wanting to see? Or is it just going to be too little, too late in this last 2 matches before we go into tomorrow? AJ, Tash Bunny, take it away.
Thank you very much, Seven. Man, it has been an exciting one here for sure. We expected Nextera to deliver, and Nextera did exactly that. 121 eliminations in that lobby. It was explosive end to end. But now,
okay, guys, हमारा
we head on into the map where the snipers
fifth match start हो चुका है कलाहारी में.
Stand tall by the end of this.
It's always very fun, right? I think we've already kind of pinpointed which players we want to see.
Yeah.
We saw it coming in from Moshi. We saw it coming in from Rasha as well. Some of the 2 hard hitters for this particular game. And now that this is actually our first Kalahari of the day, I'm wondering if it's going to be a slower start, or will the momentum of that fast, aggressive starts keep going all the way till the very end of this Group A day?
Demon's Pride currently at the very bottom of our leaderboard. Not in the right spot, if you ask me. Taking the fight up early.
सब तो सही है पर
AGL Cypher being cheeky.
भाई DRS और भाई DRS TEC और टैग के बीच में भाई जरा ड्रॉप क्लैश होने वाला है शायद.
In towards this high platform later on. DRS, Team Apex Gaming, Tech. This is gonna be a tad bit crowded. Command post only usually has 1 team commanding it. This time you've got 3 vying for that spot.
You know, looking at the most damage and also most elims as well, right? You're seeing a majority of the players coming in for, I think, most eliminations. I think on top of Rasha, you also have both Dew and Cypher as well, which actually sets a precedent on how aggressive and how much, I think, AGL prioritizes these eliminations.
Sahil Jat is in a tricky position here. He does have the flank, but he cannot back up the rest of his team members just yet. Shoto gonna get caught out here by Blade. The caught up close and personal, plus the electrotherapy, giving Blade the extra advantage in that battle. Sahil Jat's finally going to show up. And that's just a
TC और THG के बीच में clash हो चुका है यार.
A little bit of a present here for Tech as he quickly tries to back away, but a quick recap here as well for Demon's Pride up against Loud earlier on. The time turner actually saving BZP a little bit of extra time, but Jazzy only could get that knock off of that engagement, sending top 16 running away from the compound. Demon's Pride again starting off on the back foot here, but the recovery was solid through those revives.
TEC just now looks like they had the upper hand in that fight, and now DRS has decided to join in on this fight. And DRS has been scary today in terms of positioning and even fights here. It's Wolfen that will be the first one to fall as the rest of TEC waits in the wings. Nejak as well will be picked up somewhere else. Buram United also here joining in that fight. It is hectic over here at command post as well, as Moshi finally finds a final nail in the coffin to a member of TEC.
Yeah, if command post wasn't already crowded, here comes Buriram jumping into the fray as well, looking to be the third party in the situation. DRS gonna shut down the remaining players on the side of TEC, one after the other, but Buriram, as mentioned, is still in here. Locked down by Takuri, big advantage. But it looks like he's not going to be able to walk away from much. Pratik knocked down once again. And the recovery is going to be slow here from the side of DRS as they continuously are pressured by Buriram Takuri. Jonah finds him with the VSK, and Strowex far away from the rest of the battle. But will Buriram be able to snuff him out? He's got the stealth bites, which is about to run out. And he gets away in the nick of time. And perhaps this is going to be the final survivor here on the side of DRS that brings them right back in, but he has to play this one slow because Loud is right in front of him.
And Barros as well. Oh no, he is the one to go down here somehow. Ben is just doing such a great job of being able to find him in the end. Top 16 will be found out finally by GD here. It's just such an unlucky situation as Shiro quickly brought back into the game in this situation. And I think that in so many of these fights as well, we see one team having the upper hand situation, and then suddenly the rest of the collapse coming in from so many teams. We start to see a systematic way for most of these teams trying to bring themselves back into the game. And Cypher, nasty shot coming in, and he's just gonna bleed out here.
Yeah, Benel is definitely one of the super flex players out there. He is the Swiss Army knife of the GD squad and Gun Dynasty. Just showing everyone that they're just not here to fill up a slot. They are here to rip away the championship. And if they keep this up, they sure as hell are going to be able to do that. First of all, getting into the grand finals is looking like it's going to be an easy journey for Gun Dynasty. But it looks like at Bayfront, we've got a little bit more of a tense situation as two Southeast Asian squads take on each other in a battle. Falcons versus EVOS Divine.
EVOS Divine in this situation, you just gotta wait things out. You just gotta find a window of opportunity to bring your team back into the game. I'm not too sure if Aim God is being marked right now is the question. Because there hasn't really been too much of movement from the rest of the teams as well. Now, you look at TEC, they've come back into the game. It started off really well for them in the early fights, but then the collapse coming in. I think the possibility of third parties today have been incredible for so many teams. We see it happening from so many different angles. And for Falcons, they want to try and take this fight against TAG.
A crucial rotation here from Aim God, looking to bring the squad of EVOS back into play. If they get eliminated now, being overtaken by AGL and Loud is a no-brainer. The players on the side of Falcons, on the other hand, on their rotation, they spot out THE, Team Apex Gaming, in a little bit of a trouble. Riptide Rhythm's going to be breaking down the defenses. Ailjot can't drive away. Wolven stuck. Time Turner is on his side, and he needs to hope and pray that Falcons make a mistake here, but the valiant dash of Opina is just going to put him in a little bit of a pickle, and now it's all up to KD God. He's got coins to revive the squad twice around, but can he get to a vending machine in time?
Yeah, it's just really scary right now. You have no clue or idea where exactly anyone can be. And granted, this map is huge. Everyone has a bit of an area. The high grounds are looking good as well. There we go. EVOS back into the game as AimGod finds a way in here. As for the rest of the team, the reposition is going to be incredibly hard. They just take a lot of damage. Benel, oh my gosh, nasty shot coming in from multiple angles. The Swiss Army knife for the team. Not only is he sharp, but also is he diligent. He revives and he kills as well.
But now you monster. But now in a 1v1 up against Rahat. Can you get the hit? David and Vega down on the ground already. But Benel looking like he wants to shine on his own in this situation. Doesn't have much of a choice, but Barros shows up in his radar as well. And Benel making the right move here to disengage from that situation. Rahat can deal with Barros, the player from the side of AGAL. Gun Dynasty in a little bit of a pickle, and Benel once again dropping back to see if he can save the squad, but the pickups are going to be solid here from Shivu. And with the stealth bites, Benel's going to get out of that sticky situation, keeping Gun Dynasty definitely in the driver's seat here for the day.
Oh yeah, Katie got in trouble. Takes a bit of chip damage, but nothing more than that. The Falcons are hungry and they really want these kills. Forced to reposition, drops down to the ground, but Unfire is refilling that space that's been left behind. Katie got a lot of damage taken from the util as well. He is barely alive. Forced to go in the open, and Unfire should find him in the end. Knocks him down. The inhaler should keep him alive for some time. Sajak cannot do more than that. And the Falcons are looking to hunt down the last few players. Wolven in the sky, but the shots for Kiroro are just nasty.
Wolven, the escape plan failed, but he did manage to pull in a final second revive for Team Apex Gaming. That's going to be their insurance policy for the time. Falcons, on the other hand, they found that one to be a little bit too easy based on the position of the TAG players, but Shoto just shining right before he got taken down. Katie God bringing Wolven right back in. The recovery play is already in motion for Team Apex Gaming.
Falcons doing great in terms of reposition. How they collapse is just so scary to see, especially if you're caught out here alone here. Now, Falcons, nice position here, fairly safe away from the rest of the teams, but they have to rotate eventually as TEC, despite losing so many players early, they are also very slippery, still very much in the game. Knockdown, Raha does find Jonah in exchange, but Wasana wants to avenge his teammates.
And he'll be able to do that with a valiant dash. Phenomenally done. Timed perfectly. Captain Jonas out of the equation, but Buriram have got the vending machine on their side. Get high once again as usual on the recovery plays. Moshi M82B looking for Nejad. Can he pull the final strike to take TEC out of the lobby early here? He focuses towards the right instead as AGAL shows up on the radar of Buriram, and that is the saving grace for TEC, who managed to pull in at least one revive to stay in play.
Yeah, Kutush gets knocked down somewhere in that process as well here. As the Falcons come through, I think there should be fairly clear to go into that until they hit Bayfront, because TAG is waiting there right now. And I have to say, TAG had so many close calls today. Shoto got knocked down, I think, twice already, but they're slippery.
Big advantage on the airdrop here. No other teams aiming for it. Falcons get a freebie advantage, rotating towards it, finding nobody there. So great in terms of decision making, as well as a little bit of luck on the side of the EWC 24 champs. And it's only Apex in their way as they will try to get into Bayfront in a little. Can the Indian squad punish the champions of EWC 24, or will they get punished instead? The battle between Buriram and AGAL still continues, as both squads need to get into the next zone. And Jonah on the revive with the Car 98, punishing Barros, which means the front liner out of the equation. A little bit of an extra advantage for the side of Buriram, and AGAL does not want to stay and play. They use the launcher to get themselves out of that sticky situation, far away from Buriram.
Yeah, and I think it's a really good tactical decision as well. You're taking up too much damage already. Buriram United was in a great position, just really overwhelmed them as well. And I think if anything, if AGL can find a good position, they are the type of team that if they are prepared for it, they can take these fights and just completely dominate so many different areas. Now, Buriram United will follow suit here, coming into the safer zone as well. The southern side underneath the circle is looking scary. Loud is there, EVOS is there, TEC coming through, DP on the wings as well. And it's going to be really nasty. I love where Loud has put himself. Look at this sniper. Buriram United don't know.
The trigger discipline there, making sure he doesn't give away his position, which is a prime one. He wants to maintain the bird's eye view, stay out of trouble, and then strike when it's truly needed. But for how long are you going to stay undetected up there? Loud definitely has a big advantage for this next circle. And Southeast Asia battling each other to find the next circle for themselves. This time it's going to be Falcons versus AGAL. The shot is there. Aurora versus Gun Dynasty. Aurora, you cannot take this fight. Team Apex Gaming interfering as well. Car 98 perfect for Katie God. Azrael sprayed down to the ground. Jun looking for the recovery here. Will be the distraction as he gets clipped down by the thrill of battle as well. Nothing much that Aurora can do in this situation up against Esports as well as Gun Dynasty.
Azrael is barely alive right now, and I think the rest of the teams here know that, so they want to try and go in for this collapse. GD is close by as well. Aim got marking them, making sure they don't come close. Both teams are being so cautious of one another, but Loud decides to jump in here. Aurora might be crunched.
Close to 13 minutes, 11 squads still alive and kicking. Things are about to get very messy. Pandemonium about to break out here on the battlefield if we don't start thinning down these numbers. Loud with a phenomenal rotation has been able to keep themselves safe for the time being. Good glue walls pulled out, timely manner. Not having to waste a lot of those med kits on unnecessary recoveries. EVOS, Loud, Aurora in a tight little spot, but they've got the advantage for the next circle. They can keep an eye on the rest of the competition.
Yeah, he even has an idea that someone is coming through as well. Gonna try and break it as the rest of the teams here. Loud at the bottom side, Aurora on the top side. If Aurora were to jump out, they're gonna fall straight into Loud's arms as well. A lot of damage coming in from Rahe. A lot of, I think, a lot of pressure coming in from GD. So no one is really in the green. If anything, anyone is out here for grabs. It's an FFA area, free for all, for the first person that pops out their head. And everyone very cautious. And over to our Bayfront as well. The same thing is happening because TAG, you have Falcons coming through, watching straight for to attack, and AGL, you know them, you see them fighting, they're gonna try and third party you.
Yeah, but still gate kept by Team Apex Gaming, and he's just trying to avoid the engagement with the Indian squad as much as possible. But will India take advantage of the situation? If they want a battle, they have to take it now. But as I say that, Falcons
ओ भाई फैल्कन ने फिर से क्लैश छोड़ दिया ओ
and with the Punisher takes down Shoto. A deadly shot, but the follow-up is slow. Team Apex Gaming again, barricading all of those windows, trying to keep Pina out of their way.
भाई थर्ड पार्टी हो रहा है.
Looks like the players of Gun Dynasty will spot out this battle between the two, trying to play third party from that high ground.
Yeah, and it's just really annoying to be dealing with all of this as well. KD got this with damage. Even Pina out in the open. Caught! Limit does find one. Wolf been eliminated as well.
Oh.
Forced out in the open. What can you do? You stay inside. You eat damage from the util. And now for GD, all they have to do is just pick them off one by one in the middle of those rotations.
Gun Dynasty, the biggest winner in that equation. And Team Apex Gaming, they survive the ambush by Falcons. Not somehow, that's how. Beautiful play of Gun Dynasty. And Gun Dynasty doesn't care exactly who's in front of them. They just want these points. And yet again, Gun Dynasty taking the fight on Team Apex Gaming. They do not manage to defend themselves. Latam just too strong. And Gun Dynasty from being the third party.
Gun Dynasty ने उठा लिया था क्या?
In that equation. And Team Apex Gaming had nothing left in the gas tank.
They have such good timing and such insane awareness. Now AGAL, because they're at the lower side here, they have to wait through for this first fight to happen. And finally, the stalemate is broken. DP now in the open out and just fighting. PDX as well in the same situation. Top 16, taken one already.
This is not a equal battle. Paradox can be outgunned here by Gun Dynasty. The only difference maker is going to be the ambush by AGAL. They take the timing right. But now, super low. It's the lightning zone that gives them the extra bit of advantage as well. And EVOS has showed up out of nowhere. And Gun Dynasty, like the third-party equation that they pulled off, they get shut down. Aurora makes their way out of the lobby a little bit too early once again. Gun Dynasty looking for the recovery.
भाई इतना छोटा जोन है ऊपर अभी भी 6 स्क्वाड जिंदा है.
And the shutdown by Cypher off of that Mag 7 is perfect. Gun Dynasty loses yet another. And Paradox still alive and kicking through all of that.
And it is hectic here as Buram United completely want to crunch down Loud. And they do just that. Moshi knocked down already. Wasana coming close. Keeping the team fairly alive and healthy. Here's PDX.
Team bas hai bas.
A little bit more space. But the high ground Buram United has gives so much vantage.
This is the most eliminations we've seen out of Buram.
Yes, क्या लगता है कौन सा जीतेगा? कौन सा टीम जीतेगा? क्या लगता है? बहुत तगड़ा क्लैश हो रहा है यार, बहुत तगड़ा क्लैश हो रहा है। बुरीराम और एचएल तो लगता है मुझे कि जीत सकता है। पैराडॉक्स गेमिंग एलिमिनेटेड, बुरीराम और एचएल मुझे लगता है कि जीत सकते हैं मैच, चांसेस है। देखते हैं। ओ भाई अब बहुत तगड़ा जा रहा है, एचएल वर्सेस बुरीराम। देखते हैं कौन सा जीतता है, कौन सा टीम जीतेगा, कौन सा टीम जीतेगा गाइस, कमेंट में बताओ यार कौन सा टीम जीतेगा। भाई क्या ही क्लैश हो रहा है, क्या ही मारपीट भाई, फायरिंग हो रहा है। बुरीराम का एक बंदा डाउन।
The record for eliminations is 18, set by AG Global, but no booyah for them on that match. Buriram on the other hand looking to set the record
1v1,
and now it's a 1v1. The support up against the sniper and the support.
बुरीराम भाई लगा ही था मुझे कि बुरीराम जीत जाएगा। भाई क्या ही मारा, क्या ही मारा यार, क्या ही मारा, क्या ही मारा गाइस, मजा आ गया, मजा आ गया यार। जॉर्ड बोलते, मजा आ गया।
On how the positions are going to go, how the movement is going to be, and somehow they managed to find that last crucial kill at the very, very last possible timing.
It was Buriram that set the record for the highest points at Purgatory, 15 eliminations plus the booyah. But they got matched up with that. Problem was at Nextera, AGAL just could not walk away with the booyah. It was Loud that ruined the uplands, walking away with the second booyah of the day for Brazil and kept them from breaking the record of Buriram, and Buriram showing exactly why they are 3-time world champs. Phenomenal play.
ऐसा बस तो फाइट देखो ये भाई, बस फाइट देखो, क्या ही तो मारा था।
Really exciting about this particular match was not just about Buriram United, but I think it's just more of like how they decided.
भाई मतलब अलग ही लेवल का, अलग ही लेवल का क्लास, अलग ही लेवल का।
This time around, you could feel like they're just starting to just get into the groove. They're starting to really feel themselves in this fight. Position-wise was also really good as well. They had so much control that high ground.
I mean, the comms obviously just cool, calm, collected, not panicking in that situation at all. And get high XL, man. This guy is one of the most lethal supports out there.
तो चलो गाइस यार, आज का स्ट्रीम हम लोग यहीं पर एंड करते हैं। तो हम लोग कल दोबारा स्ट्रीम में आएंगे, ठीक है? कल हम लोग दोबारा स्ट्रीम करेंगे। कल शायद से हम लोग यही 3:30 बजे के आसपास स्ट्रीम करेंगे। तो यार कल भी आ जाना है, कल भी बहुत ज्यादा मजे करेंगे। तो आ जाना गाइस। तो चलो यार, मिलते हैं कल एक और ब्रांड न्यू स्ट्रीम में, और कल देखें कि भाई मतलब कल यार बहुत ज्यादा मजा आएगा, ठीक है? तो चलो यार, मिलते हैं कल। तो बाय बाय गाइस। तो तब तक यार, कीप सपोर्टिंग इंडिया, कीप प्लेइंग फ्री फायर, गुड बाय।
Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now. I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone. That's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off best friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold.
breakdown. Always feel like I could break now, but I never let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way even when I'm feeling down. I fight, even when I don't know what is right. I'ma pick a side and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shake me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone.